Inside Labatt Memorial Park here in London. It's Inter-County Baseball League action from Labatt Memorial Park as the Barrie Baycats are in town to take on the London Majors. And we welcome you upstairs into the Game Day London broadcast booth. Noah Smith, Dylan Baker back with me to kick off the weekend here, Dylan. And a little bit behind schedule, the Baycats a little bit late rolling into town, but we do have baseball on tap for you here in London.
Yeah, start time pushed back just a little bit due to delays on the Baycats trip to London this evening, but it should be a very good contest, Noah, between two teams that have seen a lot of each other this season. 4 games so far, and it's been a close season series matchup. It's been a season series split to this point. In the last matchup between the two teams, the Majors came out on top with a victory on Canada Day by a score of 7-0. The Majors blew out the Baycats in their first meeting this year. Barrie won the next 2, and then the Majors, of course, retaliated with that victory on Canada Day. So it should be an interesting contest here tonight.
Dylan, this year in the Inter-County Baseball League, we look up and down the standings as we get past the halfway mark of the season, and there are a lot of teams kind of jammed up near the top, and the Barrie Baycats are one of those teams who we, to be honest with you, haven't put in the conversation a lot, but they're right there behind the London Majors, and this is going to be a good one tonight, starting with the starting pitchers that we'll get to in a little bit. We're in for a good ball game here on this Friday.
Absolutely we are. There's lots of parity in the league, and we'll dive into that a little bit more later tonight, but the Barrie Baycats are right in the mix this season. They're sitting in 4th place, just behind the Guelph Royals, who are just behind the London Majors, who are just behind the Welland Jackfish. Everybody's bunched up right near the top, and the Baycats are absolutely one of the top teams in the Inter-County Baseball League this season.
Dylan, let's check out the starting lineups for the visiting Barrie Baycats, brought to you by EatHealthyEats.ca. Noel McGarry-Doyle will lead things off with Adam Odd right behind him, and then the man you see there, Ryan Rio, will be the designated hitter, hitting in the 3-hole today for the Cats.
Yeah, Ryan Rio batting 3rd for the Barrie Baycats, as he is so often for them. Such a talented bat that they have the great fortune of having in that 3 spot every single game. James Anderson bats cleanup. He's followed by Jake Wilson. Juan Familia, who came over earlier this season to the Barrie Baycats and was great and has continued to be throughout the year. Carson Burns bats 7th. Brendan Cawley batting 8th. And Owen Jansen bats 9th at second base.
So that rounds out the starting lineup for the visiting Barrie Baycats here in London. A good crowd getting into the park to see this contest. It's London Beefeaters night, Dylan. The championship club was honored on field prior to the game before the London Majors got announced out onto the field. 2 teams that won championships here in the Forest City in 2021, kind of getting to honor each other here on this night.
Absolutely. Pretty special moment with the Beefeaters coming out, getting a chance to celebrate their championship season from 2021. A lot of Majors connections for the Beefeaters as well. Majors official scorer Dave Woody contributes to the Beefeaters as well on the off-field staff. And Drew Lawrence was on that Beefeaters championship winning squad last year.
So they're getting set and ready for the national anthems down on field level, Dylan. And with that, we'll go ahead and we'll take a break here on MajorsTV. We'll have the starting pitchers and first pitch from Labatt Memorial Park when we come back on MajorsTV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah, I have to say, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
Back inside Labatt Memorial Park as the anthem's complete and we get set for first pitch here on a gorgeous Friday night in the Forest City. It's the London Majors and the Barrie Baycats getting set to do battle here on MajorsTV. Dylan, let's take a look at the starting pitchers here. Well, we have a chance. It's going to be Jose Arias on the mound once again for the Majors. And check out the stats for him this year, 7-0 with a 1.29 earned runs average.
Jose Arias has been fantastic all year long, arguably the ace for the London Majors this season. 7-0 record, 129 earned run average, 12.7 strikeouts per nine, and 3.33 walks per nine. Arias has been dominant. He had, I think, the most walks in an outing this season on Sunday against the Toronto Maple Leafs at Christie Pitts. Obviously a very tough environment to pitch, and you got to pitch a little more cautiously because the threat of the long ball is augmented with the dimensions of that park. So perhaps trying to pitch around a few more guys. The walks were a little bit elevated in that last game, but Arias has been phenomenal all year long for the Majors. Top to bottom, he's been one of the best starters in the Intercounty Baseball League, and he's got a tough matchup tonight. On the other side, it's Frank Garces, and Garces has not pitched in the IBL since 2018, but when he was in the Intercounty Baseball League, he was one of the best arms the league had seen in a while. A 7-0 record, a 0.38 earned run average, 11.1 strikeouts per nine. So the strikeouts per nine number a little lower than Arias is right now, but you see it on your screen there, 0.57 walks per nine in 2018. He's a fantastic arm, a former San Diego Padre, and it should be a treat to watch him tonight.
Looks like we might have a good pitcher's duel on tap here from the Forest City as Garces and Arias will face off against each other. A little bit late getting started here from London. As mentioned, the Baycats with some traffic issues on their way down to London on this Friday afternoon. And Dylan, a schedule that the Baycats, they don't normally come down here on the Friday afternoons. Normally when we see the Baycats in town, it's a Sunday or at least a holiday when they're down here on a weeknight. But the Baycats just a little bit late rolling in, so that is why we're getting started here at about 5 minutes to 8 on this Friday evening.
Yeah, you and I were talking about it before we came live on the broadcast. Normally when the Barrie Baycats are in town, it's a weekend or it's a holiday. This one's a Friday night, and so the traffic was probably a little bit tough to get through on their way to this one, but they're here now. They showed up a little bit late, still got their batting practice in. The Labatt Park staff allowed them to take batting practice a little bit later. Start time got pushed back a little bit, and we're set and ready for baseball.
So we are ready to lead things off here as McGarry Doyle will step into that left-hand batter's box, and Arias is ready to come to the plate with that first pitch fastball. It's going to miss, and the count moves to 1-0.
Good fastball there from Jose Arias, just did miss the outside part of the plate.
1-0 delivery. That one's going to miss as well, and he quickly falls behind 2-0 here on the leadoff man in the inning.
Yeah, two good fastballs so far for Jose Arias, just missing outside the strike zone. He's been very close with those pitches, but hasn't been getting the calls early.
Comes right at him with a fastball again. Swing and a miss by McGarry Doyle, and it's 2-1.
Arias is similar to Owen Boone in the fact that he's not afraid to come with the fastball. He knows he's got a good one. He's going to challenge you to hit it. So another example of that right there with McGarry Doyle. 3 fastballs to start him off.
Now to the plate, called strike by the home plate umpire, and the count moves to 2-2 here. Good job to battle back by Arias on the mound.
It was a similar pitch to the first two that Arias threw that missed, but that one was a little bit lower, and it seems he might have been missing a little bit high on the first two pitches to McGarry Doyle, but now has a 2-strike count.
Called strike 3 at the plate. McGarry Doyle wasn't expecting that one, and it's a strikeout for Arias to start the ball game. 1 gone.
Fantastic start to the ball game. If you're Jose Arias in the London Majors, 5 pitches, 1 out, comes via the strikeout after falling behind 2-0 very quickly. He battled all the way back and was able to get 3 quick strikes on McGarry Doyle to set him down for the first out of the first inning.
So there's 1 gone after the strikeout to start things off here in the top half of the first inning. A good start for Arias on the mound. He grabs his sign from Mullen, comes to the plate, and the first pitch is going to be called a strike. Odd can't believe it. I'm not sure if he was called on the swing there by Steve Cochran as he has his hands up in the air outside the batter's box.
Yeah, Adam Ott is in disbelief right now, and I'm not sure, I missed it, whether the call was on the strike or whether it was on the swing, but no matter what it is, Ott is very unhappy right now. It was the swing that he was called on. As we get a look back here on my screen here, just rewound it a little bit, and he's not happy about that.
A second called strike on Ott, and the count moves to 0-2 here. After missing with the first 2 pitches of the ball game, Arias is settled down. Finding the plate. Now the 0-2 delivery. Called strike 3, outside edge, and it's back-to-back punch-outs for Arias to start the ball game.
Fantastic start for Jose Arias. Noah, 2 strikeouts getting Noel McGarry Doyle and Adam Ott. And for Adam Ott, it must have felt like that at-bat was just going from bad to worse. Got called on the swing, and then 2 pitches on the outside corner that he disagreed with to get him looking for the second out of this inning. Arias has been fantastic to start, and we'll see if he can keep it up with the heart of the order walking into the batter's box.
So Real will come to the plate here. 2 gone to start the ball game and to start the top half of the first on strikeouts. Arias ready as he grabs his sign from Mullen. The delivery, and that one is going to be fouled off. The first contact from a Baycats batter as that one goes back to the screen.
Yeah, Ryan Rio wasting no time going after the first pitch and fouling it off, getting a piece of that baseball. Saw the fastball in the first one and took a hack, just unable to do anything with it.
Mullen sets up. Pitch coming from Arias. That one's going to miss low to Rio, and it's 1-1. Tall stance from the Majors right-hander, and a big leg kick and delivered. Outside edge called a strike on Rio, 1-2.
We've seen a couple of Baycats batters step out of the batter's box now on those outside corner pitches. Steve Cochran, who is behind the plate in this one, has been calling them consistently throughout the first inning, and we'll see if that outside edge stays there throughout the ball game.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And how about that for a top of the first inning for Jose Arias? It's 1-2-3 on strikeouts, and the Majors will head to the bats. This game tied at 0.
Fantastic start for Jose Arias, and on that last strikeout of Ryan Rio where he got him swinging, Robert Mullen set up way outside for that pitch. He really wanted to emphasize to his pitcher Jose Arias that he wanted that one off the plate, because with the power that Ryan Rio has, you locate that ball in the wrong spot and he's going to make you pay for it. But Mullen set up on the outside. Arias executed a perfect pitch just off the plate, and he got the swing and miss.
So exactly the way the Majors would have liked to start the ball game, as Arias gets him through the top of the first in order with strikeouts. And now the Majors will head to the bats in the bottom half of the first inning. And with that, Dylan, let's check out the London Majors starting lineup, brought to you by EatHealthyEats.ca. Austin Wilkie will lead things off for the Majors, and boy, has he been hot since getting regular time in the lineup. Jacob Newton in 2-hole, and then Cleveland Brownlee will bat third for the Pinstripes.
Yeah, going back to Austin Wilkie, hit 3 home runs last weekend, 1 on the Friday night against the Kitchener Panthers, and then 2 at Christie Pitts in Toronto on Sunday, including a grand slam for the Majors. And Wilkie has been so hot for London ever since he came back after not playing for a couple of weeks. Wilkie's been tremendous at the top of this Majors order. He's followed by Jacob Newton, who's really accentuated Wilkie well. Those two guys get on base. You're in for a good inning if you're the Majors. Cleveland Brownlee tied for the league lead with 11 home runs, tied up with Justin Gideon. Noah, you mentioned to me before the broadcast today he's nearing his career high in home runs this season. Robert Mullen bats cleanup at catcher. Starling Joseph bats fifth in right field. Byron Reichstein draws back into the lineup. He's playing first base and batting sixth. Gibson Kraminski bats seventh. Keith Cantel batting eighth. And Drew Lawrence bats ninth.
The Majors lineup will look to see if they can get some offense going here against a tough lefty on the hill for the Baycats in Garces, who, Dylan, as we talked about when we looked at the starting pitchers, hasn't seen action in the Intercounty Baseball League since 2018. But we know how good he can be as he gets this start for the Baycats here tonight.
Yeah, Frank Garces, when he was in the Intercounty Baseball League, he was a force to be reckoned with. He was tremendous on the mound for the Barrie Baycats, just absolutely dominant. It felt like every single time he came out there, and he's going to be looking to regain his form. This is his first start of the season for Barrie, so maybe some nerves here as he gets back into the IBL, but it's a league that he fared very, very well in, so I'm sure that he has kind of an idea of what to expect, though the league, it can be argued, by many it will be argued, that it's gotten better since the time that Garces has left. More bats in these lineups, better players overall in the IBL since Garces left, and we'll see how he fares in his first outing back.
It's going to be a tough one for him as he gets set to face one of the tougher offenses in the Intercounty Baseball League this season in the London Majors. And it'll all start with Austin Wilkie, who's been swinging a hot as bad as any to lead things off here in the bottom of the first.
Garces not being eased into it by any stretch of the imagination. He gets the best offense statistically to this point in the IBL in his first game back.
Austin Wilkie ready to go. As we get set for the bottom of the first inning here in London. Garces to the plate, and that first pitch is going to be called a strike by the home plate umpire, Steve Cochran.
Since his time in the IBL in 2018 came to an end, Frank Garces has pitched in the Dominican Winter League, in the Mexican Leagues, and the Venezuelan Winter Leagues as well.
Good cut by Wilkie, but that one's going to slice out of play and foul down the right field line. And it's quickly 0-2 here on the Majors leadoff man.
So Garces, while he's been inactive in the Intercounty Baseball League, has thrown a fair amount. He's been pitching in every single season since 2018 in various leagues throughout Latin America.
Just missing to Wilkie. And now 1-2 here as Garces looks to have and rival the top of the first inning that Arias did. Here's the 1-2 delivery to the plate. Just missing low. And the count even at 2-2.
Good pitch there from Frank Garces, and a very good take from Austin Wilkie. That pitch low and away can be so tempting because you're trying to protect the plate, but he did a good job laying off.
2-2, Garces into the delivery and just missing inside. Had Wilkie backing out of the way, and the count moves to full now.
With the amount of weapons that Frank Garces features, this has been a great job by Austin Wilkie in this at-bat, fighting back and laying off some tough pitches. Going from 0-2 to 3-2 is no small feat against a guy like this.
3-2, called strike three. Wilkie thought it was off the outside edge, but as we saw in the top of the first, that's been getting called, and there's one gone.
Yeah, that outside corner has been there so far in this ball game, and Austin Wilkie is the first Majors victim to that outside corner as he gets called for strike three. Wilkie absolutely thought that was outside and was headed over to first base, a little bit too close to take with 2 strikes, I suppose, and Steve Cochran rung him up for it.
So one gone here in the bottom of the first inning. Garces with the punch out to start the frame. And that'll bring up Jacob Newton here with one gone. The lefty takes the first pitch called for a strike. And the count moves to 0-1 on Newton.
Newton batting in the 360 range this season ever since coming to the Majors.
Called a strike, and now it's 0-2 on Newton.
Newton falling behind. 0-2 here against Garces, who will look to put him away. He's got such a great repertoire. We'll see what he comes with here.
Ready in 0-2. That one to the backstop, and the count, a ball and 2 strikes now on Newton.
Get an idea of the break that Garces has on his pitches right there. That one just dove away from the left-handed batter, Newton, but he was able to lay off.
Garces going to look for the put-away pitch to the plate. This one crushed out to right center field. Giving it a look, and that one's going to roll up against the fence in right center. Newton got a good jump. He's going to round 2 and head for third. The throw won't be in time, and it's a 1-out triple for Jacob Newton.
A fantastic start for the Majors. Jacob Newton ripping a ball into the right center field gap for a triple. He's got blazing speed, and he put that on full display right there, rounding second and dashing for third. Not sure a lot of guys on this Majors lineup would have been able to stretch that into a triple like Newton just did right there. You've got a runner 90 feet away with 1 out against Frank Garces, with Cleveland Brownlee stepping up to the dish.
So Brownlee comes to the dish here. And Cleveland now with a runner just 90 feet away, Dylan. All he has to do is find one into the outfield.
Yeah, you put one deep enough into the outfield in the air, and Newton could come in to score.
Lefty comes inside, and it'll miss to Brownlee. 1 ball and no strikes.
Baycats, one of the teams that will shift Brownlee, aggressively shift him. They've got 3 infielders to the left side of second base right now.
And a big cut from the Majors' designated hitter. And the count evens up at 1-1. You can see them shifted at the top of your screen there, Dylan, when we have that wide look. 3 guys on the left side of the bag, like you mentioned, to try and cut down on the pull swing that is Brownlee. And now he's going to swing right through that one. Took something off, did Garces, and it's 1-2.
If you look at Cleveland Brownlee's spray chart, it's mainly a pull spray chart, so you don't blame the Barrie Baycats for setting up in that direction. Most of Brownlee's really big, solid contact hits are to the left side.
Big 1-2 pitch coming here on Brownlee with 1 gone in the inning. Newton stands at third after the 1-out triple. Garces to the plate, and Brownlee swings right through a fastball. And there's 2 gone. Another punch out there for Garces.
Really good job by Frank Garces, and James Anderson with the pitch sequencing right there. Slowed Cleveland Brownlee right down, threw him 2 change-ups and got 2 swings and misses, then came back with a hard fastball and got him to swing right through it.
So Robert Mullen now ready to come to the plate for the Majors as they look to try to avoid leaving a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the first. Garces is ready. First pitch swung on and missed by Mullen, and the count moves to 0-1. Robert Mullen still atop the Intercounty Baseball League's average leaderboard. The only batter in the Intercounty League still above the 400 mark at 411 coming into play today. That one in the dirt, blocked by Anderson, 1-1.
Garces kind of varied his timing a little bit on that one. Once he got into the windup, he really sped things up on the delivery and just missed low.
Grabbing the sign, now the delivery. Mullen out to center field. That one's going to hang up for Wilson, who makes the catch. And that'll do it for the bottom of the first inning. The Majors get a runner in scoring position after the 1-out triple by Newton, but they're not able to bring him in. And we're through an inning here in London. It's scoreless on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding, And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning, currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Back here on your home for London Majors baseball, Majors TV, as we get a shot at the umpiring crew beyond second base. Home plate umpire and crew chief is Steve Cochran in today's ball game. We've seen him already. That's Rob Stevenson at third and Dean Oberle at first base. The three-man crew in today's contest.
Steve Cochran, often one of the umpires here at Labatt Park. Rob Stevenson, we've seen a fair amount of as well this season. Dean Oberle over at first base, too. So it should be a good contest, you'd imagine, in terms of umpiring. These are guys that are known around the Intercounty Baseball League. A lot of players have an idea of what's going to get called with Steve Cochran, what's not, and well-respected guys around the crew tonight.
And we've seen Steve behind the plate a number of times already this year, and he likes to call that outside edge. We saw it already here in the first inning. Not a bad thing if it's going both ways and it's consistent, and as a pitcher, I think you'll see a lot of the guys out there, they like it.
As long as you're consistent throughout the ball game, you're going to get liked by pitchers and batters. They just got to figure it out. It takes a couple innings to figure out the strike zone again, and I think that's what we saw in the first inning. A few guys who weren't too happy with the zone, but once they get a handle of it, they kind of have a good idea of where to look for pitches, what's going to get called, what's not, and that's exactly what you got to do as an umpire.
Arias is ready to go here as we'll get set for the top half of the second inning now. Both pitchers with a very good first inning of work. Arias was 1-2-3 with strikeouts across the board in the top half of the first inning. They'll look to continue that success as we move along here in London on this Friday night. 28 degrees Celsius, sun is out, and the sun is shining here in London on this Friday.
It's a beautiful day. It's a hot day here in London, but a great day for baseball.
Arias ready here. The first pitch is going to be on its way, and it's going to be popped up. Mullen, a look back to the backstop, and that one is going to land on the roof and get out of play. 0-1 now here.
Robert Mullen gave chase. I think for a moment he might have had a shot, or he thought he might have had a shot, but it just did drift over the backstop and out of play.
Ready is Arias. Here's his 0-1 delivery. A swing and a miss by Anderson. And Arias is way up in the count now, 0-2.
Yeah, Arias well ahead, and when he's working ahead, he's got so many different options that he can go with two strikes. He's got a wide array of pitches, and we'll see what he elects to try to put Anderson away with right here.
Curveball goes into the other batter's box. It's missed and blocked by Mullen. Still up in the count, 1-2. Now is the look from Arias. Curveball on the ground, up the middle, and it'll be a base hit. The first hit of the ball game for the Baycats will lead off the top of the second inning off the bat of Anderson.
Pretty good pitch there from Jose Arias, and Anderson didn't hit that baseball overly hard, but it just found the perfect spot right back up the middle, right over the head of Jose Arias and into center field for the Baycats' first hit of the ball game, and Anderson is aboard.
Went back to the breaking ball on 1-2, Dylan, but looked like it hung up a little bit over the plate, at least more than Arias and Mullen wanted it to. Anderson just puts the bat on ball, puts it in play, and has the Baycats' first hit, first base runner of the ball game. Squaring around to Butt now, getting that one down over the right side. Arias has time, will throw to one Reichstein with the catch, and there's one gone as the sacrifice moves Anderson up to second base.
Perfect sacrifice bunt there from Jake Wilson right up the first base line. Arias picked it up and shoveled it over to first base, so Wilson doesn't get on, but he does his job, moves the runner over to second. And the Barrie Baycats understand the pitching matchup in this contest. It's Jose Arias and Frank Garces. It could be a low-scoring ball game, so runs may come at a premium, and they're just trying to get them across any way they can.
So Juan Familia will come to the plate with one gone and a runner in scoring position after the single and the bunt moved him up to 2. Arias' first pitch, that's a curveball. It's going to get away from Mullen. Mullen a little bit slow getting back to it. He might have had a shot at third, as Anderson didn't recognize right away, Dylan, that ball had gotten away from Mullen.
Yeah, I think if Robert Mullen turned and sprinted over towards that baseball, he may have had a chance at throwing out James Anderson at third base. But like you mentioned, Anderson didn't see that ball, and I think Mullen just kind of assumed he would and would just trot over to third, and he was going to move up 90 feet no matter what. But he didn't see it right out of the hand of Arias, right past the glove of Mullen, so he might have had a chance, but now he stands 90 feet away.
1-0 delivery, swung on and missed by Familia. Count evens up at 1-1. Baycats have now got a runner up to third base with one gone in the inning, similar to how the Majors did in the bottom half of the first. They'll look to try and score him, though, here, as Familia is in a 1-1 count. Fouled back into the screen, and that one will move the count in the favor of Arias, 1-2.
Arias once again ahead of a batter. He's got another 2-strike count right here. It's a big at-bat right now for Familia at the plate. Arias out there on the mound. Got a chance to put him away, and you've got to take advantage of that because you've got a Barrie Baycats lineup that can absolutely do damage. So if you can get Familia here, that's huge.
Arias looking for the big put-away pitch here. Grabs a sign from Mullen. Here's the delivery on 1-2 and a swing and a miss. Huge strikeout for Arias on the mound. There's 2 gone.
Very good fastball there from Jose Arias. It wasn't placed in a particularly difficult spot, but because his fastball is so good, he just said, here it is. Let's see if you can hit it. And Familia could not. Came up empty on the swing, so 2 gone now in the top of the second.
Arias looking to work out of this inning. Try to strand the base runner at third. First pitch is going to be fouled back into the screen and out of play. As the count moves to 0-1. Arias really taking his time here in the top of the second inning with 2 gone. Needs to be good here as this one is hit out to right field. Frozen on the line is Joseph. He'll make the catch. And the top half of the second comes to an end. The Baycats will leave a runner at third, and we'll head to the bottom half of the second. Still no score here in London.
That one was hit pretty hard off the bat of Carson Burns into right field, but perfectly placed was Starling Joseph making the grab on the line drive for the final out of the inning. So despite the fact that Anderson got on, and the Baycats did a good job moving him into scoring position with the sacrifice bunt, he got to third on the wild pitch. Doesn't come back to bite the Majors as no runs on the scoreboard.
3 games in the Intercounty Baseball League tonight. Toronto is in Hamilton taking on the Cardinals, Guelph in Brantford shortly, and Barrie here in London. Let's take a look at the Intercounty Baseball League standings here coming into this Friday. The Welland Jackfish still at the top of the league standings, 22 wins, 6 losses in their first 28 games to start the season. Another big win for them last night on home turf. The Majors behind them, 2.5 games back of that first place spot. Guelph 4 games back in third. And then you see those Barrie Baycats. Dylan, this is what we were talking about in the pregame show, about kind of a log jam up there from 1 to 5. There's a couple of games maybe in between teams at times, but aside from that, still lots of movement that can happen in the second half of the season.
Absolutely. The Barrie Baycats have played the most games out of any team in the Intercounty Baseball League so far at 29, and they sit 5.5 games back of the first place Welland Jackfish, who have been once again on a tear. as of late. They still sit in first place, 2.5 up on the majors. Two teams with winning percentages above the 700 mark. And they've been the top two teams in the IBL throughout the season, but Guelph is not far behind at only a game and a half back right now. Barrie sits a couple games back of the majors as well, so it's all very tight, and it could go any different way in the final stretch of the season.
Gorgeous night here in London as Frank Garces gets ready for the bottom half of the second inning. It'll be Starling Joseph to lead things off here for the majors, Dylan, and he has been swinging a hot bat here in the mid-going of the season, a 14-game hitting streak coming into this Friday night contest.
Yeah, if you want to talk about a guy who's been on a tear as of late, it's been Starling Joseph. He's been fantastic lately for the London Majors. His bat has come around after a bit of a slow start to the season. He was still hitting the long ball. He was still getting on base here and there, but not quite the same Starling Joseph that we've seen lately for London, and that's huge for the majors because it just adds more depth to that lineup. His bat is just another threat in this majors lineup, and he's been fantastic in the recent games for London. Let's see if he can keep it up in this one.
Starling was 7 for 13 last weekend for the majors in the 3-game sweep of the weekend's game, and since June 21st, Dylan has been hitting a whopping .448 for the majors with 21 runs scored and 16 runs batted in, and that's basically in the last calendar month. He has been on a tear. You can read more about that. Todd Devlin wrote a good article in Game Day London released today about the majors and about Starling Joseph's hot bat, and he'll lead things off here in the bottom of the second to try and get the majors going here on offense.
Majors had a triple in the first inning from Jacob Newton, but couldn't bring him around to score. Cleveland Brownlee, Robert Mullen were both set down by Garces. We'll see what the back half of the order can do.
First pitch swinging by Joseph. On the ground to third, a strong throw, a little bit high, but coming down with it and on the bag. And there's one gone quickly here to start the bottom half of the second.
Yeah, for a moment there I was concerned that Brendan Cawley may have overshot his first baseman, but a good job over at first base by Adam Ott coming down with that baseball. A strong throw from Cawley for sure. A lot behind it and nearly sailed over his first baseman's head, but he's got the first out of the bottom of the second.
So Byron Reichstein now, he's batting sixth in the ball game for London as he gets set to take his swings here on the bottom of the second inning. Majors happy to have his bat in the lineup tonight as he takes that first pitch called a strike. Fastball on the inside edge, and it's 0-1. And a swing and a miss by Reichstein. It quickly falls in the hole to Garces, 0-2.
Byron behind now against a tough lefty arm. This is a prime matchup for IBL fans. Pure lefty power against a dominant lefty pitcher. Well, let's see who wins it in this first matchup.
Here's the 0-2. Coming outside on that 0-2. A little bit of a waste pitch. Well off the outside corner. 1-2 now on Reichstein. Garces ready. Curveball. Didn't get Reichstein to chase. They appeal down to third base. He doesn't go around. And it's 2-2.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't really a question of whether he swung at that pitch or not, more if it caught the outside corner or not. Rob Stevenson said it didn't, and Byron will certainly take that.
And it's called third strike on Reichstein. And quickly 2 gone here in the bottom of the second inning for Garces on the mound.
That last pitch from Frank Garces looked pretty good. Looked like it might have had the outside corner, but a pretty significant hand movement from catcher James Anderson trying to whip it back over the plate. And oftentimes when you see that, you won't get the call from the home plate umpire, but Steve Cochran gave it to the Baycats nonetheless right there. And there are 2 quick outs in the bottom of the second.
So Gibson Kraminski will come to the plate now with 2 gone. Try and start something for the majors in the bottom half of the second as that first pitch is going to miss 1-0. Garces ready again. Kraminski over to the right side. This one's going to hang up. Familier in right. Barely has to move, and he's going to make the catch to retire the majors here in the bottom of the second inning. No offense on either side here through 2. It's scoreless from Labatt Park in London. You're watching Inter-County Baseball League action here on Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty
Listen, I'm the brains here.
and Mitty.
And I'm the good looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors. London Majors Baseball on Majors TV back here as we move along to the top of the third inning. No score here in London so far as Jose Arias back out onto the mound for the hometown club. Looking to try and have another good inning so far through the first two innings of work. Dylan, just the one hit surrendered for Arias, and he's looked pretty confident, comfortable on the mound here on this Friday night.
Yeah, both pitchers have, Noah. Both guys out there have looked fantastic up to this point through two full innings. Both pitchers have left their mark on the ball game. Both guys have had a 1-2-3 inning on their respective sides. For Arias, it was 1-2-3 with 3 strikeouts in the top of the first inning. He struck out the side, and Garces went 1-2-3 with the Majors in the bottom half of the second. So far, the pitching matchup has lived up to the hype. We'll see if that continues here in the third.
So ready to go here, top half of the third inning. Here's the first pitch from Arias. It's going to be a fastball just off the outside corner. It doesn't get the call from the home plate umpire. And it's a ball and no strikes here to begin the third inning.
A good pitch there from Arias to start off Brendan Cawley. Looked like it may have been a little outside and a little bit low as well.
Cawley with a swing on the 1-0. That one's going to be popped up and out of play. A ball and a strike now here to begin the inning. Cawley, Jansen, and then the top of the order here for the Baycats in the top of the third. Mullen with his sign. The delivery is swung on and missed. Good cut there by Cawley, but it's 1-2.
When Arias falls behind an account, he's done a good job of working his way back into it. Fell behind 1-0 against Brendan Cawley, and now is ahead in the count. 1-2 has a chance to put him away right here.
Arias looking for the strikeout. Here's the 1-2, swung on and missed. Went upstairs with the fastball, got Cawley to chase, and there's one gone.
Another great job by Jose Arias with that fastball. He's used it to get several strikeouts so far in this one. Gets a swing and a miss right there from Brendan Cawley. It's just such a good pitch. He's able to get so many swings and misses from it when he puts it in those kinds of spots, and it's a big reason for his success.
Fifth strikeout to start the ball game here for Arias as it goes to the bottom of the order, and Jansen here with one gone. And that first pitch is going to be a fastball taken at the bottom of the zone for a strike, 0-1. Working from the first base side of the rubber is Arias. The righty delivers. Here's the pitch. Missing low. Mullen had to pick that one out of the dirt. 1-1. Jansen slightly crouched in that left-hand batter's box. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Off the outside edge. Doesn't get the call, doesn't get the bite, and it's 2-1.
Another good pitch there from Jose Arias, just did miss, according to home plate umpire Steve Cochran, and that outside corner slowly fading a little bit right now. Missed a couple of times, has Arias on that outside in this inning on pitches that have looked very, very close. He's just got to zero in on the zone once more.
2-1, comes right back to the plate. That one fouled off down the left field line, out of play.
Arias did a good job of jamming Jansen right there. For a moment, no, I thought that was coming back towards us, and it wound up finding its way down the left field line. A bit of a strange swing on that one from Owen Jansen, pardon me. But Arias now with 2 strikes on him has a chance to get his 6th strikeout.
Looking for that strikeout pitch on 2-2. Wind up and delivery to the plate is going to miss low. And it goes to a full count here with 1 gone in the inning. Got to come right at Jansen here. If you don't get him and allow him on, you're putting a runner on for the top of the Baycats order.
That's not an ideal situation if you're Jose Arias. Come right at him with a fastball. It's been so electric to this point in the ball game.
Ready on 3-2. Arias to the plate. This one chopped at up the middle, coming across. It's going to be a nice scoop, but won't have enough time to get the throw over as Newton was way over towards the middle of the infield. And an infield single for Jansen, and the Baycats have a base runner here in the 3rd.
Yeah, another one that's just right back up the middle, perfectly placed. Jacob Newton ranging over to his right. And with his speed, he was able to track that baseball down and come up with it. Just couldn't offer a strong throw because it was a very tough play to make on the run. Had to run a long way, could not turn his body and generate enough momentum to execute a good throw to first base, so runner reaches.
So back to the top of the order. Noel McGarrett-Doyle struck out his first time around, as did the first 3 in the Baycats order. He's going to take a swing at this one, chops it foul to the backstop. And the count moves to 0-1. Arias 5 strikeouts still in his first time around the Baycats order. A lot of use of the fastball. We'll see if, as he makes his second time through the Cats order here in the 3rd, if he starts to mix things up a little bit more.
We'll see that quite often with pitchers, but I think Arias' fastball is so good you just keep going back to it until it stops working.
And that one's going to be hit against the infielders, played up the middle. Another base hit back-to-back here for Barrie. And they have a couple of runners aboard with 1 gone in the inning.
Yeah, after that first out was recorded pretty quickly on the strikeout from Brendan Cawley. Owen Jansen did a great job of working his trip to the plate and singling right back up the middle. Then McGarrett-Doyle finds the hole between Keith Candell and the third baseman Gibson Kraminski. If Candell is shaded up the middle normally, he probably makes that play, but because he had to be at double play depth, he couldn't get over there in time to corral that baseball, and now there are 2 guys on.
So Adam Odd to the plate now for the Baycats. McGarrett-Doyle at first, Jansen at second, 1 gone. First time through the order, Odd struck out. Was called on a swing on the first pitch of the at-bat and didn't look comfortable after that on a 3-pitch strikeout. Now we'll come up with a runner in scoring position, a couple guys on, and try to do some damage for the Baycats as that one's fouled back on the first pitch. No balls and a strike here on Odd.
Arias challenged him with a fastball, and Odd lined it straight back to the screen. He's right on that pitch, just could not straighten it out.
Majors infield, Reichstein playing in on the grass at first. This one hit over to shortstop. Candell with it, the throw back to 1. Not in time to get McGarrett-Doyle, but the line out for the big second out of the inning.
Good job by Keith Candell. Good awareness right there. He had to kind of fight through Owen Jansen a little bit because Jansen's secondary was pretty much right in front of the Majors shortstop, so he had to avoid him and try to find that baseball to make that catch, and smart play throwing it over to first base. McGarry Doyle was further off the bag than Jansen was. He was going to get back safely. It was going to be a closer play over at first. Candell with a strong throw, but not in time.
Keith got that liner, and also I think a little bit, Dylan, sometimes you can expect the runner at first to be getting that little bit further off and also taking that little bit more extra time to get back on a line drive, not quite expecting the throw, and
for sure. And
he was pretty close.
You get a bigger secondary as well when you're over at first base and there's a runner at second, because you know you're the runner that's behind the play. Typically, you don't want to throw behind the runner. You want to throw to that runner over at first base because that runner at second could move up. It's a dangerous play, and I think that over at first base, McGarry Doyle knows that, and it almost led to trouble.
0-1 count here on Rio. They come inside with the breaking ball. That one picked out of the dirt in the batter's box by Mullen. 1-1.
Not sure if you can see it on your screen, but there's so much movement on that pitch from Jose Arias. It breaks so sharply. And right there, good job by Rio laying off.
Arias here on a big 1-1 pitch will grab his side. A quick glance back to second, now back to the plate. Here's the pitch, off the outside corner, 2-1.
Just missed the outside corner, did Jose Arias with that last fastball. Seemed like he had a little bit of extra juice on that pitch. Threw it a little harder than some of the other ones we've seen so far, but just missed.
Once again, ready to go is Arias. Called a strike on the outside edge. Got the call on that one, 2-2.
Steve Cochran looked like he was ready to ring up Ryan Rio on strike two right there. Quickly realized before he did the punch out that it was only the second strike, and count moves to 2-2.
Arias will look for that punch out though here, at least try to get an out and get the Majors out of the inning. Baycats pressing slightly here in the top of the third. Here is the 2-2 from the Majors righty to the plate. This one hit on the ground, chopped to second base. Coming on, Newton will shovel that to Reichstein at first. And Arias and the Majors will get out of the jam as the Baycats strain a couple of runners here in the top half of the third inning.
Jacob Newton with a good play over at second base. That play looks routine, but can be a little bit tough because you're trying to get it on a big hop so it doesn't short hop and get over your glove. Newton either had to wait back or charge that baseball. He made the correct call because if he waited back, it would have short hopped him at second base. He charged hard, got it before it bounced again, and shoveled it over to first to get out of the jam for London.
So the Majors will come to the bats in the bottom of the third, still tied here in London. We thank you for watching along with us here on Majors TV. Dylan, we don't often get to follow a lot of the Blue Jays games here on the Friday nights as we are, of course, here at the ballpark. But some news coming out of the ball game tonight in Boston. Looks like Buck Martinez will be making his return to the booth for the Blue Jays. And I know both of us broadcasters, we tend to watch the MLB guys a little bit more than maybe the average fan. Listen to what they say. And Buck, a guy that I grew up listening to, it's going to be so nice to have him back in the booth for the Blue Jays. Absolutely.
Growing up, I mean, my memories of watching Blue Jays baseball on TV are Buck Martinez behind the mic, and having Buck depart from the team for such a long time this season was difficult for a lot of Blue Jays fans, I'm sure, but the fact that he's going to be back next week is pretty special. He's done his cancer treatment, and so happy to see that for the Blue Jays and for Buck Martinez. Something else pretty special happened in the Blue Jays game today, too.
An inside the park grand slam.
Yeah.
That is pretty special.
That's wild. I mean, it's only the second time that that's happened for a Blue Jay in Boston, as well was the last time. Junior Felix hit an inside the park grand slam in 1999, according to Hazel May, I believe, on Twitter there. Just a fly ball to center field that was lost by Red Sox center fielder Jarren Duran, and Tapia made him pay.
We must be following the same people on Twitter because I was actually going to quiz you with that trivia question.
Oh, well, I should have let you quiz me. You should have warned me, Noah.
No, you would have got it, and then I would have known you were cheating.
You don't expect me to know Junior Felix's stats from 1999?
Not a chance. Not a chance. But the Blue Jays off to a good start in Boston at Fenway Park tonight, it looks like. Their first game back since the All-Star break.
Jays would love to have a big second half or unofficial second half of the season as they go down the stretch in the playoff race. They're a team that can do some damage come playoff time, but they've got to make it in there and hopefully get a good seed.
Top of the fourth inning in Boston at Fenway Park. The Blue Jays lead 11-0 over the Red Sox. So off to a good start post All-Star break. The out-of-town scoreboard, Toronto currently leading the Hamilton Cardinals in intercounty action 4-2, top of the third. And Guelph is in Brantford taking on the Red Sox. 2-1, the Royals lead in the top half of the second inning.
No, we've got many of the staff members from Voices.com here tonight at the ballpark, and they know Keith Candell, so a large cheer for Keith as he stepped up to the plate right there.
A workout into the park. Sorry, I can't make it, boss. I'm playing in the ball game. Candell takes that pitch 1-0 on the outside edge, and it evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Now Candell on the ground, over to shortstop. They're going to have to hurry if they want a shot at Candell. The throw to one, not in time to get him. So he shows off the speed in front of the co-workers, and Candell is on with an infield single here in the bottom of the third.
The Barrie Baycats did everything right on that ground ball. It was weakly hit, and Candell with his speed was able to beat it out. Carson Burns with a strong throw. Adam Ott, a good stretch over at first base. Just wasn't enough to get Keith Candell. He's such a fast base runner, and he's aboard now to start off the bottom of the third inning.
Just what the Majors needed to get themselves started in the bottom of the third. Candell on with an infield single. As now Drew Lawrence will take a first pitch fastball for a strike. Falls behind 0-1 here against Garces. Austin Wilkie, the top of the Majors order, stands in the on-deck circle here. So the Majors would love to try and get some runners on, bring them around for the heart of the Majors order. Lawrence will square around, bumps that one foul on 0-1, and now he falls into an 0-2 hole.
No surprise the Majors get Drew Lawrence to bunt on that one. We saw the Barrie Baycats execute a beautiful sacrifice bunt in the second inning to move James Anderson up to second base. And I think we're going to see a lot of small ball in this contest. The Majors' big bats have provided a lot of the offense, but in a pitching matchup like tonight, we've talked about it already, it's going to be the small ball that wins this ball game.
Garces, way up in the count here at 0-2, and now time will be called by Lawrence at the plate. The sign from Anderson comes set now to the mound. Lawrence slaps that the other way, but foul.
Nearly a kick save from Matt Hiscox, the Majors photographer down there. Drew Lawrence late on that pitch from Frank Garces. He just kind of fought it off because he had to stay alive.
Still 0-2 against Lawrence. Garces checks, now comes to the plate. Lawrence fouled off again as this one will get out of play.
Great battle between Garces and Lawrence right now. He's fighting off some tough pitches on 0-2. He's staying alive at the plate and looking to do some damage here for the Majors.
Candell with his lead at first, not a big one. Just inside the cut of the grass as you see him there at first on your screen. It's an 0-2 count here on Drew Lawrence. Garces pauses at the top. Lawrence is going to hit that one out to left field. Coming on and into a slide to make the catch. Candell retreats back to first with a big first out by McGarry Doyle out in left field.
Really good play by Noel McGarry Doyle right there, charging hard on a fly ball from Drew Lawrence. I thought that ball was going to get down for sure, Noah, but McGarry Doyle came swooping in and on the slide made the grab for a big first out. Doesn't allow Candell to move up, and you got one away in the inning.
So Austin Wilkie as they go back to the top of the Majors order. Wilkie is 0 for 1. No luck his first time around against the Baycats starter as this one's popped up. Foul territory. Odd is over and has some trouble with it, but he is able to recover, make the catch for the second out.
Good job by Adam Odd tracking that baseball. For a moment, I thought he lost it. It was going to fall in, but he was able to keep an eye on it and made a tough grab in foul territory. A lot of foul ground here at Labatt Park. Oftentimes, fielders are prone to overrunning the baseball, and Odd nearly overran it, nearly lost it in the lights, but he made the grab.
So Jacob Newton will come to the plate. He had a triple in his first at-bat. Bottom of the first inning. That put him into a good spot for the Majors. They were unable to bring him around. Now he's going to have to try and find a way to extend the inning here as Candel's off. The throw down to 2 is not going to be in time as it takes the hop and right into Candel at second base.
Keith Candel laughing it off over at second. That throw came up and got him, it looked like. He's able to take second on the stolen base right there. It's help from Carson Burns to get up. Now stands in scoring position.
We've all been there, right, Dylan? It doesn't hurt, but you're not ready for that ball. Come from home plate and hit you. It looked like it got Candel right in the gut.
Yeah.
1-0 now.
Maybe a little lower, too. Candel dealing with some pain out there at second base.
1-0 here on Newton after the stolen base by Keith Candel. 1-0 delivery, outside edge for a strike, and Frank Garces now evens the count up at 1-1.
Very good pitch there from Garces to Newton after falling behind 1-0. Candel using that speed. Majors are going to have to be doing that throughout the ball game if they want to beat a tough arm in Garces.
Newton takes that one. And it's a ball and 2 strikes now here on the Majors' second baseman.
Up to this point, Garces' pitch count is in a very good spot at 37 pitches through 2 2/3 innings, but behind Jacob Newton right now, and Newton was the one who had the big blow for the Majors so far, the biggest hit of the ball game, which was a triple in the first inning.
Garces will look for the put-away pitch. Here's the 1-2, hit on the ground, up the middle. That one's going to get into center field. Candel will get the wave and come in to score the first run of the ball game. Jacob Newton's 2 for 2, and the Majors lead 1-0.
That stolen base proves pivotal for the Majors as it allows Keith Candel to come in to score. And it looked to me, with Carson Burns shaded up towards the middle, I thought at first he was going to make the play and throw Newton out or have a shot at throwing Newton out over at first base. It might have clipped the bag on the way just a little bit and just enough to get it past the outstretched arm of Carson Burns into center field. No matter what happened on that baseball, the Majors are certainly going to take it because they lead 1-0.
And that'll bring up Cleveland Brownlee here. Two gone in the inning, but the Majors have pushed a run across here in the third. First pitch to Brownlee, misses low, the designated hitter. Now 1-0. Newton over at first. Takes his lead, and he's going to be off. Brownlee chops one over towards third base. Picked up Garces, the throw to 1. Tons of time to get Brownlee, who is retired for the final out of the inning. But the Majors will pick up a run. Keith Candel comes around to score on the RBI single by Jacob Newton, and the Majors have a 1-0 lead through 3 innings here at the ballpark. You're watching London Majors baseball on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning, currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
Capturing emotion in every shot.
Back here inside Labatt Memorial Park on London Majors TV. We thank you for joining us wherever you're watching from on this Friday night. The kids have ran the bases here in between innings, and we get set for the top half of the fourth inning. And for the first time in tonight's ball game, Jose Arias will head back out to the mound with a lead. It's a 1-0 lead for the Majors. They brought a run across in the bottom half of the third. An RBI single by Jacob Newton, his second hit already here early on in this ball game, scoring Keith Candell, who got aboard himself with an infield single, then stole second base and scored on the run-scoring hit from Newton. So the Majors will take it. It's a 1-0 lead as we move along to the top half of inning number 4. So Arias ready to go. And Anderson will lead things off for the Majors. Anderson, who's 1 for 1. He got the Baycats hit started, their first hit of the ball game, his first time around the order. Ready, and here's the look. The first pitch is going to be fouled off and out of play. And the count moves to 0-1 now. Arias so far through 3 innings of work in the ball game, as his pitch count sitting just above 40 pitches. That was number 43 in the start, the curveball. Up above the zone, doesn't get it to break enough and find its way into the strike zone. And the count now 1-1. Arias now. Leg kick from the righty, delivers to the plate. This one popped up, foul territory. Mullen will give it a look, but this one is going to land on the roof and be out of play. A foul ball, 1-2. One and two counts here for Jose Arias. Goes to the curveball. That one's going to be bounced into the opposite batter's box, blocked by Robert Mullen. And now it's 2-2. After Anderson, it's Wilson and Familia, the first 3 to greet Arias here in the inning. So on 2-2, Arias readies himself. Here's the pitch, fouled off again. Good battle at the plate by Anderson leading off this inning. 3 hits aside so far in the ball game. 3 for the Baycats, 3 runs for the Majors. They have the lone run so far and a 1-0 lead. Looking, and the 2-2. Arias again, swing and a miss. Flew the fastball right by him. And the first out of the inning against Anderson will be a strikeout. There's one gone.
Another good fastball right there for Jose Arias. Another swing and miss, another strikeout courtesy of that heater for the Majors right-hander. He's had it going throughout the ball game, and it's claimed another victim.
So Jake Wilson now will come to the plate with one gone after the strikeout. And the first pitch will miss outside to Wilson, 1-0. The righty delivers, hit on the ground, but foul past Reichstein towards the Baycats bench, and the count evens up at 1-1.
Wilson had a sacrifice bunt the last time he came up to the plate, moved James Anderson over to second base, so does not have an official at-bat in the ball game.
Getting a chance to swing here in the top of the 4th, though. Trying to start a rally himself for the Baycats, and he'll take that fastball off the plate. 2 balls and a strike now. Arias as he works through the order here for the second time. Still doing a good job at firing the fastball across, but as that one's fouled off, and we'll see another count move in the favor of Arias here, 2-2. Has fallen behind a few more hitters.
Yeah, he has, but he's usually been able to work back in the counts. Now a 2-2 count. He fell behind on Wilson, works it right back to a 2-strike option.
2-2 delivery. Just missing the bottom part of the zone. Arias can't believe it. Mullen a little bit of a pause there as well as he gets the ball back to his pitcher. You could even see Steve Cochran there, Dylan, motioning that ball was down. Of course, Mullen and Arias both wanting to get that call.
Yeah, just missed, and Cochran right on top of it, telling him it was low.
Here's the 3-2. And it'll miss. A 1-out walk. And the Baycats have a base runner here with one gone in the inning.
Not exactly what Jose Arias was hoping for in this 4th inning. After getting a quick out of James Anderson, he allows the walk, and a runner stands over at first base now with one away.
Arias here going to have to try and once again work from the stretch with a base runner on. This time via the walk. He'll check over to the runner at first. Runner not going. Curveball swung on and missed in the dirt. Count moves to 0-1.
Just a nasty pitch right there from Jose Arias in the dirt. Gets Familia to chase after it. It dropped so sharply, so late that despite the fact that it was in the dirt, he got the chase.
Familia back into the batter's box here after the swing and a miss to move it to 0-1. Arias still checking on the runner. Wilson at first. Over his shoulder. Now he comes set. Fastball to the plate. Outside corner. Doesn't get the call. Count even at 1-1.
Fans starting to get on the home plate umpire, Steve Cochran. That was one that he might have had earlier on in the ball game, but the outside corner has kind of faded a little bit.
Still going to come right at the hitters here. As you get a look at the lead from Wilson over at first base. Arias checks. The righty delivers. That one called a strike. The throw down not going to be in time to get Wilson. Came with the off-speed pitch there. Got the strike.
Not a bad idea by Robert Mullen, throwing over to first base. Wilson taking a pretty healthy lead and a pretty big secondary, so try to double him off, just no success.
So Arias ready here. And we'll throw back to one. Not in time to get Wilson.
Majors seem to be pretty concerned about that runner over at first base, Jake Wilson. He's got pretty good speed, but if you're Arias, you got to lock in here on Familia. Either get him to ground one on the infield or get a swing and a miss.
Big 1-2 pitch coming here for Arias at the plate. One last check over the shoulder at Wilson at first. The righty delivers, swing and a miss. Familia down on strikes. Yet another punch out for Jose Arias, and there's two gone.
Really good fastball right there from Jose Arias. Put it low and away, and Familia came up empty on the swing. It's a very well-located pitch when he puts it right there. Makes it very difficult for those hitters to get a piece of, and he gets the strikeout of Familia in the ball game so far. Jose Arias has 7 strikeouts.
Strikeout number 7, as you mentioned there, Dylan, for Arias so far. Here in the top of the 4th, not out of the woods yet, as that first pitch fastball will miss off the outside edge. They've been keeping an eye on Wilson so far and his lead at first base. Is a threat to run if he gets a good pitch, if he decides to go. Not on this one. The 1-0 called a strike on the outside edge. Carson Burns now in a 1-1 count. Next pitch, number 60 for Arias in the ball game. 1-1 count here on Burns as he checks on the runner again. Takes his time. Now the runner goes. Pitch upstairs to throw down. In time to get him. Perfect pitch to throw on for Robert Mullen as he guns down Wilson, trying to steal second base to end the inning. And the Majors will head to the bats in the bottom of the 4th, holding on to a 1-0 lead.
The Majors always had the idea that Jake Wilson was going to be running, and that eventually when he did, it was the perfect pitch to throw on, as you mentioned, for Robert Mullen. It was a fastball that was up in the strike zone, so he knew that Wilson was likely going to be running. He had that in the back of his mind, and then got a great throw over to second base. Keith Candell applying a good tag there for the Majors.
What a throw by Robert Mullen to get the Majors out of the inning, as we will take another look here on our MajorsTV replay at the throwdown. The tag across the bag from Keith Candell in time to get the runner. And the Majors back onto the bats in the 4th after a gorgeous throw out by Robert Mullen.
That's huge for the Majors. I mean, not only does that get an out over at second base, but the momentum is firmly in the Majors' favor after a play like that. When you get an out like that from your defense, all of a sudden you've got energy going back into that dugout. The Majors are leading, so they do have the momentum already, but that just provides a little bit more.
Follow us on social media at the London Majors. You're not going to want to miss a minute of the content that we have coming out every single day. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course you're watching us here on the London Majors YouTube page. Your home for every single London Majors home contest. And we thank you for tuning in wherever you are watching us from. We go to the bottom half of inning number 4. The Majors out in front with a 1-0 lead so far in what has been a well-pitched ball game on both sides. An exciting ball game as well.
Yeah, Frank Garces and Jose Arias have lived up to everything we said about them in the pregame. It's been a very well-pitched contest to this point, and the Majors and Baycats are both going to hope that continues. It's a one-run ball game. We expect it will likely stay that way throughout the night, and Garces is doing very well out there on the mound for the Barrie Baycats. The Majors have had no answer for the most part, aside from Jacob Newton, who's got 2 hits in this ball game. Keith Candell has 1 as well on the infield single. I mean, the Majors have really struggled against Garces, who only has 3 strikeouts, but he's been getting loads of weak contact, hit on the infield, just quick outs, and that's the key to his success.
We'll see how he fares against the Majors here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Robert Mullen, Starling Joseph, the first two that will greet him here in his fourth inning of work. As mentioned, just 3 hits for the Majors so far through their first 3 full innings. And now Robert Mullen, who didn't have any luck his first time around for the Majors, will look to try and start things here in the fourth.
Yeah, Mullen, as you mentioned, Noah, 0 for 1 in the ball game, lined out to center field in his first trip.
First pitch going to miss inside from Garces. 1-0 count now on Robert Mullen. Here's the pitch as Mullen puts a bat on it out to right field. And that one is going to be caught as it hangs well up in the air for a while. And Mullen is down a very quick fly out to start things here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
That one hit well up into the air into right field. It was a tough ball to track down for Juan Familia for a moment there, but he was able to make the grab on that. And no, I'm not sure if the bat came and got James Anderson behind the plate, but right away you saw Mullen look back, Steve Cochran looked back, and Mullen, as he walks by, apologizes to the Barrie Baycats backstop.
Well, Mullen, of course, a catcher. He knows exactly how that feels. Very quick to apologize. As you mentioned, might have been the backswing that got him there. So Starling Joseph ready here. One quick out for Garces as he comes at Joseph, misses low with the first pitch. Count now a ball and no strikes. Garces curveball, that one fouled straight back into the screen. Joseph looked like he was actually a little bit out in front of that one, 1-1.
Very close on that one was Starling Joseph, but just did miss it, fouled it straight back to the screen. If his timing was on, looked like he could have given that ball a ride, took a healthy hack at that pitch.
Joseph looking to start a rally here for the Majors with 1 gone in the inning, and he fouls that one off. Another good swing. That one goes out of play. A ball and 2 strikes. Here on the Majors right fielder, Byron Reichstein stands on deck here for the Majors. Ready as Garces as he grabs his sign. Another delivery. This one chopped. A little check swing there from Starling Joseph. Didn't want to go around, but able to fight it off and see another day.
Tough pitch in on the hands there for Starling Joseph, but he just got enough of it to foul it off, stay alive on that check swing. Now has to do it again on 1-2. Garces looking for his 4th punch out of the ball game.
Anderson with the sign, the delivery, Joseph down the line. Into left field, it'll roll up against the wall, and Starling Joseph is into second base with a 1-out double here in the fourth. And you see the dance by Starling Joseph. That is what he's been known for here.
Nobody's got better moves on that Majors team than Starling Joseph does, though Jacob Newton comes pretty close. Starling Joseph stays red hot, ripping that ball down the left field line. Noel McGarry-Doyle tried to cut it off before it got to the fence, was unable to do so, got under his glove, and Joseph with a stand-up double just to continue to swing a hot bat.
So now Byron Reichstein will come to the plate with a runner in scoring position after the double by Starling Joseph, who continues to swing a hot bat here for London. First pitch to Reichstein. He takes that one in the count now. 0-1 here. Reichstein this season for the Majors has played in just 5 ball games. Batting .227 so far, so he'd like to try and heat his bat up. 1-0 fastball well off the plate. Count evened up at a ball and a strike.
Byron so far in the ball game 0 for 1. In his last trip to the plate, he struck out looking.
Garces got to be careful here against the lefty bat of Reichstein. 1-1 delivery, curveball swung on and missed by the Majors first baseman. No, it was fouled off at the plate, pardon me. Nonetheless, count moves to 1-2.
Quite the rambunctious fan here up near us.
Trying to cheer on Reichstein to a big base hit here. 1-2 count here as Garces grabs his side. Quick check back at second to the plate. Reichstein takes inside and just inside to move the count to 2-2.
Byron nearly got rung up for the second time in the ball game on a very close pitch. That one a little too far inside on the Majors first baseman, and able to lay off that one.
Joseph with the lead at second. Hit on the ground, second base. Couple of hops. The throw from Jansen is going to be in time to get Reichstein at first. And there's two gone. Starling Joseph moves up to third on the play. And a big second out for Garces on the mound here in the fourth inning.
So Byron Reichstein is set down, but he does his job. Moves the runner over to third base, Starling Joseph. And now Gibson Kerminski has a chance with a runner 90 feet away to drive home the Majors' second run of the ball game. Won't be an easy task. Kerminski in his last trip to the plate flew out to right field. If he's able to get a ball past the infield or even an infield single, Kerminski has pretty decent speed. Maybe he can beat it out. Majors would love to get an insurance run across.
They're going to need to come up with a big hit off the bat of Gibson Kerminski here with two gone in the inning. First pitch fastball inside off the plate to Kerminski, 1-0. Candell on deck. Majors hoping Kerminski can bring in a run here. Garces ready, delivers, fastball right there to Kerminski, 1-1.
Good pitch right there from Frank Garces, coming back after falling behind, finding the strike zone with a good fastball that Kerminski took.
Big cut there by Kerminski, just behind the fastball it looked like. And now the count moves to 1-2 in favor of Garces on the mound, looking to strand a runner at third here in the fourth inning.
Got to take your big hacks at that fastball because the off-speed stuff is so difficult to hit. So good swing there by Kerminski, though he had nothing to show for it.
The look, the delivery, swing and a miss. Garces puts the fastball upstairs, gets Kerminski to chase, and works out of a jam, stranding a runner at third base for the Majors here in the bottom of the fourth inning. We're through four complete here at the ballpark in London. We got a good one going. It's a 1-0 London Majors lead on Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Major. We are back here inside Labatt Memorial Park on Majors TV. Noah Smith, Dylan Baker bringing you the action here from the Game Day London broadcast booth on a gorgeous Friday night in the Forest City. And Dylan, boy, do we have a good one so far. A 1-0 London Majors lead as we move along to the top of the 5th inning.
Only 7 combined hits between these two teams as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Jose Arias has been stellar for the Majors. Frank Garces has been as advertised for the Barrie Baycats. It's been exactly what you want if you're a fan of good pitching, which I know you are, Noah, up here in the booth. I mean, it's been a tremendous ball game up to this point.
These games can be so fun to watch, so fun to broadcast as well when two pitchers are just on it as these guys are.
Different styles as well between Garces and Arias. Garces gets so much weak contact. He's got 4 punch-outs through 4 innings, so averaging a strikeout per inning at the moment. Jose Arias with 7 strikeouts. That's strikeouts per 9, above 12, and he's been so good this season getting the punch-outs.
First pitch called a strike at the bottom of the zone there. The Baycats not happy with that call. On Burns, and it's an 0-1 count.
Both sides have had their doubts about the calls from Steve Cochran throughout the ball game.
Arias ready again. This fastball fouled off and out of play, and the count moves to 0-2 in favor of the Majors righty. Majors once again, Dylan, we talk about it here when they have these long weekends, 3 games in 3 days, how important it is to get good starts from your starting pitching. Arias doing his best to give the Majors that here on this Friday night. Here is the 0-2 delivery to the plate, fouled straight back into the screen, and we'll have to do it again.
Yeah, the pitching is so huge in a 3-game weekend especially, which is the case once again for the London Majors this weekend as they play in Brantford tomorrow and Hamilton on Sunday. Arias on his way to delivering a good outing for the Majors, assuming he keeps up on this same track. He's been fantastic so far in this one.
Looking for that put-away pitch on 0-2, and it's a swing and a miss. Goes to the breaking ball on the inside, and a strikeout for Arias. Another punch out for him. There's one gone.
That one just took an absolute nosedive off of the plane that it was originally on as it got swung at and missed by Carson Burns for the first out. A beautiful pitch that dropped in there and got him to swing right over top of it for the first out.
So one gone in the inning after the strikeout, and now Arias will start mixing pitches up here as he starts the at-bat with a curveball. 0-1 now on Cawley. Comes inside. A little bit off this one as well, but it misses. And now the count 1-1 here for Jose Arias. Ready again. Delivers. Just missing the bottom of the zone. That's a good location to miss still, and that fastball just below the knees. He hasn't been getting the call a lot from the home plate umpire, but if you're going to miss, that's not a bad spot to do so.
Absolutely. Last place you want to miss is over the plate. Missed his spot right there, but it was out of the strike zone.
Swing and a miss on this one. So he battles it back to 2 balls and 2 strikes now here on Cawley.
It's been the story of the night, Noah, for Jose Arias out there on the mound. He will fall behind at times, but he's done such a good job of working his way back into the counts and working his way to a 2-strike count, just like the one he's got right here.
2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout there for Jose Arias, who is dealing right now here in London, and there's 2 gone.
Another punch out for Jose Arias. He continues to roll along in this ball game. Strikeout number 9, looking to finish off the bottom of the order. This is going to be a big at-bat right here against Owen Jansen because the top of the order due up right after him. Hopefully for Arias and the Majors, they can face the top of the order with nobody on base and just get out of this one right here.
Arias would love to do so, but he's going to have to retire Jansen in order to make that come true. Jansen's 1 for 1 so far in the contest tonight, and he rips this one over to second base. Newton, couple of hops, a strong throw to Reichstein at 1. And how about that for Jose Arias? Another clean inning of work here on the top of the 5th. And the Majors holding on to a 1-0 lead here at Labatt Park.
A very efficient, very good inning there for Jose Arias and the London Majors. Arias in that frame through just 10 pitches, which is his lowest total of the ball game, through 19 in the last 2 innings after 12 and 11 in the first 2 frames of this one. Arias has been tremendous out there on the mound for the London Majors. He's been generating lots of swings and misses, and when balls have been put in play against him, they haven't been hit very hard. Even the hits for the Barrie Baycats, they've got 3 of them to this point in the ball game. A lot of them have just kind of been right back up the middle in the perfect spot, just cued off the end of the bat. They get over the head of Arias. They're just out of the reach of either Newton or Candell. We haven't seen too many balls hit hard off the bats of Barrie Baycats.
So we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning here in London. A 1-0 Majors lead on 4 hits for the hometown club, 3 for the visiting Barrie Baycats so far. Another good night at the ballpark here. The fans coming out tonight, probably a good couple thousand of them, Dylan, in attendance. It's the Majors' only home game this weekend. They are on the road Saturday and Sunday, so your next chance to catch the Majors not until next weekend. So a lot of fans getting out here on a kind of humid night at the ballpark, but a good night nonetheless.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful night for baseball. The Majors fans have kind of been spoiled. I think that's 3 straight weeks of 2 ball games at home on a weekend, but right here this weekend, just the 1 home game. It's tonight against the Barrie Baycats, so fans showing up in droves to catch a good contest.
Majors are on the road the rest of the weekend, as we mentioned. And then back here next Friday night as the Hamilton Cardinals will come to town.
For the final time this year?
Yeah, I was going to say, is that actually going to be the final matchup of the year between the Majors and the Cardinals? They're there this weekend as well, and then the Cardinals back here for the final meeting of the regular season between the 2 clubs.
Yeah, that'll be number 6 on the year. Of course, every team plays each other 6 times this IBL season with the 42-game schedule, and the Majors will be seeing the Cardinals for the last time. That's the first team, I believe, Noah, that they will have seen the last of this season. They haven't played anybody 6 times. This is the 5th time the Majors play the Barrie Baycats. They've got 1 more trip to Barrie this season, but I know Welland, the Majors are done going to Welland, so
1 more trip for Welland down here.
Things are winding down, but not quite done with a lot of these teams. Hamilton will be, the season series will be over after next Friday.
So we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. And Keith Candell will lead things off here for London.
Candell, on his prior trip to the plate for the Majors, had an infield single to shortstop.
Came around to score the only run of the ball game so far. And he'll take that first pitch for a strike, falling behind 0-1 against Garces, who's back out to the mound, pitching a good ball game for the Baycats so far. Big cut by Candell, 0-2. So Candell quickly behind, 2 pitches, 2 strikes, and now in a big hole. The 0-2 delivery, swing and a miss. Garces not wasting any time. A strikeout on 3 pitches to start the inning.
Yeah, Frank Garces making quick work of Keith Candell right there. 1, 2, 3, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, as that's the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning. Candell now 1 for 2 in the ball game today.
So Drew Lawrence now set and ready to take his second at-bat of the ball game. Rips one, right field, coming on, and unable to play it is Familia to roll past him into right field. Lawrence's speed, he's going to round second base, and Drew Lawrence will slide safely into third. A big one-out knock for Lawrence to put him into scoring position, turning the lineup over.
Juan Familia was kind of in between on that hit as he raced in right field. He wasn't sure if he was going to dive for that baseball or if he was going to try to play it on the run, if he was going to wait back for it to bounce. And He made the wrong call. Whatever he decided to do, it was kind of in between. It got past him. Luckily for him, it didn't roll all the way to the fence. If that ball got all the way to the fence, there's a good chance that Drew Lawrence comes in to score. But he's got such great speed, makes it to third with relative ease, and now the infield is drawn in.
So the Baycats going to draw the infield in with Austin Wilkie coming to the plate. Garces ready. Here's the delivery. Wilkie fouled back into the screen. And it will fall behind 0-1.
Wilkie has had little success against Garces so far in the ball game. 0 for 2 today, including a strikeout in his first at-bat.
0-1. Garces to the plate and ripped foul by Wilkie. Just slices that one down into the Baycats bullpen, and now he falls behind 0-2.
So Wilkie behind in the count now. 2 strikes. Garces shaking his head out there on the mound, frustrated that he's got a runner over at third base with only 1 out. A chance for the Majors to add on, and if you're London, you've got to cash right here. You've got a great chance to score this insurance run. He's 90 feet away, and Wilkie going to look to put a ball in play to score him.
The big 0-2 pitch coming from Garces. Here is the delivery. This one towards the mound. Garces picks it up. Nobody's covering first base. The throw, and it gets away. Down the line into the bullpen. Into scores Lawrence. Up to second base is Wilkie. Miscommunication on the Baycats infield, and a run comes in to score to make it a 2-0 ball game.
Boy, oh boy, the defense letting down Frank Garces. First, it was the ball that Familia was in between on in right field that allowed Lawrence to get all the way to third base. And then a tapper back to the mound. Garces did everything right. He looked Drew Lawrence back at third base, made sure he wasn't running, but nobody was at first. Adam Odd charged in on that ground ball, thought he might have had a play on it. I don't think Owen Jansen was expecting his first baseman to run in on that, so he kind of hung around second base. We'll get a look at it right here on your screen. A ground ball. Garces does a great job getting off the mound, spins around, and double clutches because nobody's at first. Adam Odd is at the pitcher's mound, and so Owen Jansen has to hustle over to the bag and couldn't get there in time. The throw went into right field.
Good look there on our Majors TV replay at that. Dylan, that's a play as a pitcher where you don't want to throw to a bag when no one's there, but the only shot you have is if you trust that someone's going to get there in time and try to have the ball meet him there.
Absolutely. You've got to time that play perfectly, and unfortunately for Garces, his second baseman just couldn't get there in time, and the throw went down the line.
Run comes in to score on the play. An error charged to the Baycats. Now the delivery swung on and missed by Newton, and it's 0-2. Sometimes even on that play, Dylan, it's best, especially after the double pump there, hold the throw, right? A run doesn't come in to score there if you hold it, and maybe still you can try to work your way out of an inning with a runner at first. You have a double play in order now, but
Garces has the stuff to do that, Noah.
Exactly. Instead, the Baycats now trailing by 2. Garces will try to work out of the bottom of the 5th inning here. Pitch just missing low to Newton on 0-2, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Good pitch there from Frank Garces. Just did miss the outside part of the plate, so Newton a good take there on 0-2. Tough pitch to lay off of.
Outside corner. Looked like a pretty good pitch there by Garces. Doesn't get the call, and it's 2-2 now on Newton. Newton 2 for 2 in the ball game. Looking to try and continue that here in the 5th.
A triple and then a single so far in this one for Jacob Newton. Double and a homer shy of the cycle.
Garces checks back at the runner, comes to the plate. This one jammed inside, able to get it out to deep left center field, and Wilkie was out about halfway, got back to second base on the flyout, and there's 2 gone.
That one was hit pretty deep in the left center field. Wonder if maybe Austin Wilkie would have had a shot to move up to third base if he had been tagging up right from the get-go. But because he goes halfway, he trots back to second. A ball into the gap like that, you kind of don't know whether that's going to be caught. And Jake Wilson showed off his range, tracking that baseball down. A good grab made by the Baycats center fielder. So Wilkie remains at second base with 2 out.
So Cleveland Brownlee ready for the majors here with 2 outs in the inning. They could really use his bat to find one into the outfield here. 0 for 2 so far in the ball game. Good take by Cleve as that one misses low. Garces checks back again at Wilkie, second base, now delivers. Fastball just inside to Brownlee, 2-0.
Good take there by Cleveland. Well ahead in this count. It's in his favor at 2 balls and no strikes. Garces can change that in a hurry with the stuff that he's got, but if you're Cleveland, got to keep the same approach at the plate. Know that Garces is going to attack you with the off speed.
Brownlee cued off the end of the bat and foul. Was ready to swing on that 2-0 pitch, Dylan, and just well out in front of it.
Yeah, he sure was, but like I was about to say, and you mentioned there, Noah, he was out in front of that baseball and cued it off the end of the bat towards the first base dugout. Not ideal for Cleveland Brownlee, but he was ready to go, had the green light on 2-0 and was coming up swinging.
Delivery. Outside corner, just missing to Brownlee. 3 balls and a strike here. You do have a base open. You don't have to come at Brownlee here on 3-1, but you do put a runner on if you try to stay away for Robert Mullen.
That's a guy you don't want to face with 2 runners on, Noah.
Brownlee might see something good on 3-1. Garces ready, and it's popped up. Foul territory. Odd with a look, but that one 6 rows deep over top of the Baycats dugout, and on a ricochet, a nice catch by a fan in the first row. Just beside the Baycats dugout, he's going home with a souvenir.
Great grab right there. That's a tough play sometimes. Got to play that perfectly off the ricochet. Got to judge the hop well, and sounds like I didn't see it from my vantage point. I'm kind of tucked away in the corner here in the press box, but great grab by all accounts.
Subtle complaint about your positioning up here in the
No,
broadcast
it's fine.
booth.
I don't need to see first base anyway.
We have a beautiful program monitor up here where you can see everything that they're seeing at home.
Absolutely. I really enjoy that monitor.
Pitch inside to Brownlee, and the 3-2 will miss for a walk. Brownlee heads down to first, and Robert Mullen will now get a chance to swing with a couple of runners on. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
Cleveland Brownlee now stands over at first base, 2 on, 2 out. A little update on the Blue Jays and Red Sox game. The Blue Jays lead 25-3, which is breaking their franchise record for runs in a game, which was 24. So a new franchise record set tonight by the Blue Jays as they lead Boston 25-3 in the 5th.
Those are the type of games that if I'm Kevin Gausman on the mound, I like that kind of run support.
Absolutely. You could get used to that.
22 hits for the Blue Jays. As this one hit out to right center field, trailing away. Oh, what a catch coming on in center field by Wilson. Saves a run for the Majors at least with 2 outs and ends the inning as the Majors will be forced to settle with just the run here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But they'll take a 2-0 lead to the 6th here in London. You're watching London Majors Baseball on MajorsTV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
I'm looking for the silver lining, so tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning, currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
Welcome back to Labatt Park. Sixth inning about to get underway here between the Majors and the Barrie Baycats. And Noah Jose Arias back out there on the mound with a fresh run of run support.
Yeah, that one-run lead doubles here as he gets ready to work in the top half of the sixth. Now 2-0. And the way that the pitchers have been rolling here in this ball game, Dylan, 2-0 feels a lot bigger than it really is. Arias will certainly take it as he gets set to work here in the top of the sixth inning. He's done a fantastic job so far on the mound, holding the Baycats to 3 hits. And looking good here as he gets set and warmed up here in the sixth inning.
Jose Arias has been on top of his game so far. Going to look to continue that into the next frame. And Arias, up to this point, 9 strikeouts, has a chance at double digits here in the sixth. If he can get one man out, he's got to deal with the top of the order, though, so it won't be an easy task.
Top of the Baycats order here as they work through the lineup another time. Third time through the order now for Barrie as they face Arias and try to see if they can find an answer so far. They haven't been without their fair share, Dylan, of runners, first of all, on base, and second of all, in scoring position. They've had some chances, just unable to find the big hit to bring them in.
Yeah, Barrie struggled to find that one clutch hit. If they get runners on, they'll most definitely be looking for it in this sixth inning. As time starts to dwindle in this ball game, becomes all the more important to get some runs across now. So at least one right here, so you can continue to chip away as the ball game rolls on. But if you're the Barrie Baycats, you've got 4 at-bats left. Got to make the most of them right here. And that begins at the top of the order. Noel McGarry-Doyle, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game, has one of the Barrie Baycats' 3 hits on the night. A ground ball into left field was a single for McGarry-Doyle his last time up.
We'll try to start things here for the Baycats, top half of the sixth inning.
And the windup goes Arias. Here's the first pitch. Squaring around to bunt is McGarry-Doyle, and he will bunt that one foul.
Don't know if this call comes for the bench or if McGarry-Doyle just thought about trying to find a way on, but I like it, Dylan. You've got just 3 hits so far in the game. Now trailing by 2 runs, but just trying to find any way he can to beat Arias and get on base to begin the inning.
Behind in the count, 0-1 after the fouled-off bunt attempt. We'll see if the bunt is still on here with 1 strike. Kraminski still in near the cut of the grass. McGarry-Doyle squares but pulls back. It's ball 1.
Pretty good location there, just missing by Arias.
Arias looks in. Gets the sign he wants, gets the grip he needs. Here's the 1-1. Cut on and missed by McGarry-Doyle, who was swinging at that one, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes.
That'll allow the Majors infield to move back and not have to worry about protecting against the bunt. And now at a 1-2 count, Arias will look for double digits in strikeouts in the ball game.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the offering to McGarry-Doyle. Line drive into left field. Lawrence is going to have to leap, and it gets over his head. Around first, digging for second is McGarry-Doyle. He takes a hard turn. He's going to third. Here's the throw. It's a little bit up the line, and that will allow Noel McGarry-Doyle to get into third base on a ball that just kept sailing over the head of Drew Lawrence.
Lawrence right off the bat misjudged this baseball and had that one soar over top of his head, roll up against the wall, and McGarry-Doyle, no doubt in his mind, he was going to look for a third, and as soon as he got to second base, saw that Lawrence was still just picking up the ball, was able to move up the extra 90 feet, get to third. And a good start to the inning here for the Baycats.
So McGarry Doyle stands over at third base as Jose Arias looks in for the sign. Adam Odd at the plate, 0 for 2 today. Here's the first offering. That is fouled off. Odd is late on that baseball, headed towards the Roy McKay clubhouse. It's 0-1.
Dylan, I go back to a conversation that me and you had as we were watching the London Majors take batting practice today. A warm day, humid day, and the ball seemed to be flying a little bit extra off the bat. Some of those line drives carrying a little bit more, and now once today in the game and a couple times in batting practice, we've seen balls just seem to fly a little bit extra.
That one is fouled off. An example of that, the McGarry Doyle line drive to left field. Even though Lawrence did misjudge it off the bat, I thought he still had that pretty easily. Looked like it was just going to be, he was just going to have to reach up and make the grab, but he had to leap, and it still got over his head. Here's the 0-2 on its way from Arias. Odd dribbles that one towards third. Kraminski looks back. McGarry Doyle. Here's the throw. It's high. It gets over Reichstein. It's going to go down the right field line. So McGarry Doyle will trot in to score, and Adam Odd is into second base after Gibson Kraminski airmailed his first baseman.
Not a great start to the inning here for the Majors as the Baycats are on the board and pressing here. Kraminski picks this ball up quickly, and having to get back to third was McGarry Doyle, and Kraminski actually looked him back to third base, and by the time that he decided to go back to one, he had wasted a split second too long and had to come up throwing, and it came in sailing high over top of the head of Byron Reichstein.
Yeah, a bit of a longer look back there by Kraminski, and he realized that he had to fire a strong throw to first, and the throw was just too strong as it got over the head of his first baseman. Here's the first pitch to Ryan Rio on the ground. Going to be a tough play. Arias off the mound, stops up, spins, and throws to first in time to get Rio. A great play by the Majors pitcher to get the first out of this inning.
Fantastic work on the mound there by Arias. Yes, the runner's going to move up to third on the play. But Arias picks this ball up, and 8 other guys in the Baycats lineup, he might not have a play at first base here, but he realizes that Rio is pulling up a little bit on his way to first base. Fires a strong throw to one in time to get the out, and now the Majors forced kind of here to bring the infield in with one gone, and the tying run now standing 90 feet away.
So tying run over at third, one out for James Anderson, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Here's Jose Arias' first pitch to him. Swing and a miss. A good fastball there from Arias.
This is a spot where Arias needs to reach back for a little bit extra on the fastball if he can. If there's ever a strikeout situation, it's here.
Arias takes a breath, gets set out there on the mound. Has Odd standing over at third base after he moved up on the ground out. Here's the pitch. Anderson fouls that one off. He's late on it, and the count moves to 0-2.
Good job to get up 0-2 here. Not out of the woods yet against Anderson. I wouldn't be surprised, Dylan, if we see him go right back to that fastball. See if they can, as mentioned, Arias can reach back for a little bit extra. Maybe go up in the zone here against Anderson.
Strikeout number 10 right here would be huge for Jose Arias. The 0-2 on its way. That's going to miss low. It's ball one. Came with the fastball, but missed below the strike zone. Arias gets reset out there on the mound, looks in to Robert Mullen for his sign. Comes set. The 1-2 to James Anderson. Called, strike 3 on the outside corner. That's strikeout number 10 in the ball game for Jose Arias, and it's a huge second out in the top of the 6th inning.
Double digits for strikeouts in the game for Arias, Dylan, and as you mentioned, a big one. None bigger than that so far for the Majors starter, as that one gives them 2 outs in the inning, and now just an out away from working out of this top of the 6th inning with the lead intact, but you can't let your guard down here.
Arias looks in, has a runner still over at third base with 2 out. Here's the offering. On the ground towards Kraminski at third. Charges in. Throw to first in time. And despite the early error, the Majors are able to escape the 6th inning, still leading by at least a run.
Great work there by Arias on the mound. That strikeout, 10th of the ball game for the Majors starter, proves to be huge as the ground ball gets the Majors out of the inning and back onto the bats. Lead still intact, now at 2-1 though. Both of these starters, Dylan, as we get later on into the ball game, I don't imagine we're that close to seeing the bullpens get up and in action, but they're going to lose a little bit of velo as they move along here, and this might be time for the bats to get going.
Arias at 84 pitches through 6 innings. Garces at 73 through 5. So I do expect that the bullpens will be active shortly, and it's a great time for the offenses to get rolling, as you mentioned, because the velocity will be diminishing. But we've seen Jose Arias, and I imagine Frank Garces can do the same. Both of these starting pitchers can reach back for a little extra when it calls for it.
Yeah, and we've seen that so far in the ball game tonight. It has been, although we've seen runs in each of the last 2 at-bats, it has been a pitcher's duel so far and a good ball game as the Majors lead 2-1 here. But as we mentioned, both of these guys, you know, the pitch count starts to get up there. They might not be as sharp on the breaking balls or have as much on the fastball, and this might be the time when we see, I'm not going to say a lot of offense, but, you know, a hit squeak in here that maybe didn't, one that gets to the gap, something like that. And hopefully here the Majors can use that to their advantage and try to add on to this lead. They got it up to 2, but the Baycats took one right back, and we're back to a one-run ball game.
Yeah, Starling Joseph will be leading things off for the Majors in this bottom of the 6th inning. And right now, Noah, if there's a guy that you want to ignite a rally, Starling Joseph is that guy.
Yeah, Starling Joseph has been fantastic so far for the Majors this year. Gone off to a slow start, but has been heating up and already has found a ball down the line for extra bases here in the ball game tonight. So a good guy to get things started for the Majors here in the bottom of inning number 6 to see if they can bring in another run.
Would be huge for the Majors. They had that 2-run lead. They went down to 1 run and now would love to get that insurance back if at all possible. Here in this frame, Jose Arias can pitch a little more comfortably out there on the mound if he's able to get an extra run to his credit, and the Majors will be looking to deliver that right here after going up 2. The lead shrunk right back down to 1 in the next inning.
Garces ready as the final warm-up pitch is thrown down to second as we go to the bottom half of inning number 6. Both teams with some hits in their last couple of at-bats, so possibly a sign of some offense on the horizon as Starling Joseph gets ready to lead us off.
Joseph so far in the ball game for the Majors is 1 for 2. He had that double that you mentioned, grounded out in his first at-bat. Joseph digs into the batter's box and looks out towards Garces on the mound. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss by Starling Joseph, and it's 0-1.
Good cut there by Joseph. Falls behind in the count, but if he keeps that swing up, he's got to just wait for one to find its way over the heart of the plate.
Here's the 0-1. That's going to miss in the dirt and get all the way to the backstop, so a ball and a strike. Pretty healthy crowd here at Labatt Park in this one.
Good crowd here on this Friday night as the Majors leading 2-1 here in the inning has thinned a little bit as we work our way into inning number 6. Some of the real young families have made their way home, but still a good crowd here for the Majors' only home game of the weekend.
Oftentimes the fans will jam themselves underneath the grandstand here as that swung on and missed by Joseph, or closer to the dugout so they can interact with some players down the right field and left field lines. Oftentimes is where we see more sparseness in that crowd. Sparse is a word, Noah?
Sparse is a word, Dylan.
No, sparse is, but sparseness?
Sparseness. I'd have to pull out the dictionary on that one.
Here's the 1-2. Joseph checked his swing. Did he go around? He did, says the first base umpire. And Steve Cochran didn't look like was going to be calling that a swing. He peeled down to first, and the first base umpire called the swing on Joseph.
Big strikeout there nonetheless for Garces to start the inning against the always tough bat of Starling Joseph. And now it'll be Byron Reichstein here with one gone in the inning.
Reichstein will step in to the batter's box once again. 0 for 2 today. Moved Starling Joseph up in his last trip to the plate. Garces into the windup. Here's the pitch on the ground. Right back up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Shortstop Burns on the run. Throw to first in time. A very good play by the shortstop for the Barrie Baycats, and they are quickly 2 gone here in the 6th.
Nice quick start to the bottom of the inning here for Garces on the mound. 2 fairly quick outs, the strikeout and then the ground out to Reichstein. Just what he needed here. If you're the Baycats, you get a run back. Sure, you leave a runner in scoring position 90 feet away in the top half of the inning. But you get one back here, and now you try to keep the momentum going with a quick bottom of inning number 6, and they've done that so far.
Here's the pitch. That one will miss to Kreminski to start him off. So 1-0 with 2 away. Kreminski struck out in his last trip to the plate. Here's the offering from Garces. Kreminski rips that baseball to left field. McGarry Doyle a few steps to his right, and he comes up with it for the 3rd out of the bottom of the 6th inning. So we're through 6 complete here from Labatt Park. Majors lead 2-1. You're watching Majors and Baycats on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
7th inning about to get underway here from Labatt Park between the Majors and the Barrie Baycats. Jose Arias back out there on the mound for London for his 7th inning of work. The Majors still lead 2-1. After scoring their 2nd run in the 5th inning, Barrie responded with a run of their own in the 6th. Jose Arias going to look to continue his dominant performance to this point. 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 hits, 1 earned run. He's been everything the Majors could have asked for and more. As we get an out-of-town scoreboard update in the ballpark, the deficit continues to grow for the Boston Red Sox, where it's 27-3 for the Toronto Blue Jays.
It's quite the score.
Isn't it just?
Offense
wow.
really going.
Danny Jansen with a 2-run home run to extend the lead to 27-3. Noah, have you ever, in your time playing baseball, held a 24-run lead?
24-run lead or a 24-run deficit?
Have you played in a game where one team has been up by 24 runs?
Yes, I won't answer the question, but I have been in a game where there's been a 24-run differential.
Oh, boy.
I've been in a doubleheader where there was about a 38-run differential in the 2 games.
Here's the first pitch from Arias, squaring around to bunt is Juan Familia. It's a called strike 1.
All right, I'll break it. I wasn't on the good side of either of those games.
Gathered that from your non-answer. Were you on the mound at all in those games?
No. It would have only been about a 32-run differential if I was on.
Here's the pitch once again, squaring around to Buntis Familia. That one will miss. As you get a look on your screen there at some action in the Barrie Baycats bullpen. Just a little bit of throwing and some stretching right now. Nothing too serious. Garces still in a pretty reasonable spot in terms of pitch count. Up in the 80s right now. Or at 80, I should say. Into the windup goes Arias. Here's the 1-1 breaking ball that drops in there on Familia, and it's a called strike 2.
Dylan, that's a pitch there from Arias that we didn't see a whole lot of, the first time through the order, a little bit more in the second time through the order, but as we work our way here in the ball game, you'll start to see that curveball dropped in there for a strike.
Here's the pitch. Did he go? Yes, he did, says home plate umpire Steve Cochran. Robert Mullen with a throw over to Byron Reichstein, and that will be the first out of the top of the 7th inning, and strikeout number 11 in the ball game for Jose Arias.
Great work there by Arias here, and a big first out to start the top half of the 7th inning. No action down in the Majors bullpen, and we've seen Arias, Dylan, so far this year pitch up over 100 pitches, 110.
Here's the pitch. That is hit on the ground by Carson Burns towards first base. Great play by Byron Reichstein on the scoop. Goes to the bag himself and gets the first out. Second out of the inning. Noah back to Arias and his pitch counts this season. I think the most he's gotten to was last Sunday against Toronto where he threw 117. I believe that's the most we've seen out of Jose Arias so far this season.
And even then, Dylan, sometimes you get up to that mark and you wonder when is going to be the time to go to the bullpen. Am I going to wait a batter too long?
It's dangerous territory for sure when you get up near that mark in terms of pitch count with your man out there on the mound. So we'll see how long Roop Chanadad elects to leave Arias into the ballgame. Right now, he's got no reason to take him out. Pitch count still in a pretty good spot. 11 strikeouts, only the 1 run earned. That is cut on and missed by Brendan Colley. So the count moves to no balls and 2 strikes.
Still a lot of life on the pitches here for Arias as he works into the top half of the 7th inning and looking for that put-away pitch. Fastball has life, still good movement on the off-speed pitches.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Into the windup goes Arias. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's strikeout number 12 on the night for Jose Arias. He's through 7 fantastic innings.
Great work there on the strikeout for Arias. And as you mentioned, they're dealing 7 innings in the ball game for the Majors starter. 1 run surrendered here as the Majors going to look to try and find some runs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. It is stretch time at the ballpark as the fans rise out of their seats, Dylan, and I think we'll do the same.
Absolutely. Stretch time does not just stop at the press box. It extends right into it. Everybody in the press box here is part of our MajorsTV crew in the Game Day London broadcast booth, getting up, stretching their legs, stretching their arms, just trying to take advantage of this opportunity to relax a little bit.
And Dylan, we will get a pitching change when we come back, but first another look there at our social media channels where you can give us a follow. Dylan, I think everybody in that shot is already following us on all the social media channels. So if you are not cool like them, and you need to do so immediately.
Absolutely. Start following the Majors on social media if you haven't already. We got Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as you get a look at the new arm on the mound. That is Evan Souls for the Barrie Baycats.
So we weren't sure if we were going to see the Baycats go to the bullpen here, but they have decided that Garces has got them through a good start here. And Dylan, you got to keep in mind, this is the first time that we have seen Garces come back and pitch for the Baycats. So you got to wonder how stretched out was he and ready to go.
Yeah, Garces coming back. It looked like he had mainly pitched out of the bullpen in his time in the Dominican and Venezuelan winter leagues. So this might have been his first start in a little while, first start at a high level in a little while. So Garces finishes his night at 80 pitches on the nose, and it'll be up to the bullpen.
And the bullpen will have Keith Candell, Drew Lawrence, and then the top of the order due up here to start the 7th inning.
Candell and Lawrence both have a hit in this ball game at the bottom of the order. Cantel 1 for 2 on the day. Into the windup goes Souls. Here's the pitch. That's scorched down the left field line, but just foul.
Good rip there as Keith Candell wastes no time trying to get a hit against the Barrie Baycats bullpen and Evan Souls.
Here's the pitch. Candell rips that one to the same spot and foul once again.
Souls nonetheless doing a good job of getting ahead. He's up 0-2 now.
Into the windup. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just misses the outside corner. Steve Cochran, the home plate umpire, says that's a little bit outside to the young righty on the mound. Souls working quickly. The 1-2 on its way. Called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Cantel not happy with it. He drops the bat and shakes his head a little bit. And still standing near the batter's box as that'll be the first out of the bottom of the 7th inning.
Great work there by Souls to get the strikeout and start the bottom of the 7th inning. Souls this season, Dylan, has done a fantastic job working for the Baycats, eating up a lot of innings. The ERA a little bit inflated. He's only started 3 games for the Baycats, has 41 1/3 innings pitched, and 36 strikeouts to go along with that.
Drew Lawrence steps into the batter's box, 1 for 2 on the day. That one will miss. It's ball 1 to the Majors left fielder who squared around to bunt on the first pitch. Souls gets the sign he wants. Here's the 1-0 outside corner, just off. 2 balls and no strikes. On the outside corner, 2-1. Lawrence not a fan of that call. Another substitution to announce. Brad McQuinn is into the ball game in right field for Juan Familia. Here's the pitch on the ground towards third. That one will get foul, so the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Drew Lawrence.
Fell behind 2-0 quickly, works it back to 2-2 now against the bottom of the Majors order, Drew Lawrence, who earlier on in the game, Dylan, ripped one over to right field, got down in front of Familia, and Lawrence ended up getting to third base on what would be scored a triple.
He's got a full count now with 1 away, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Souls. That's up high. It's going to miss for ball 4, and now the speed of Drew Lawrence is on the base paths as the Majors look to add on some insurance runs.
Now this will be interesting to see how the Majors play this, Dylan. You're only up by a single run here, 2-1 the score. You're turning the lineup over to the top of the order with 1 out after the walk to Drew Lawrence. But Lawrence is a threat to run. He's got speed over at first base, certainly can be aggressive on the base pass. With the top of the order up, the question then becomes, do you risk trying to send Lawrence to swipe an extra base with the top of the order up like they are now?
He's got a healthy lead over at first, as you see on your screen there. Souls holding onto that baseball for a long time. Here's the pitch. Not running is Lawrence. That one will miss. It's ball 1.
Just off the outside portion of the plate. Souls actually asking the home plate umpire and crew chief Steve Cochran where that one was missing, and he agreed that it was off the plate.
1 ball, no strikes. Lawrence takes an extra step over at first. He's running. Swung on and missed by Wilkie. It's a strong throw from Anderson, and it's dropped over at second base. They would have had a shot at Drew Lawrence. He dove in there, and the ball was jarred loose, so he's at second.
That was a nice throw from behind the plate by Anderson. Looked like it beat Lawrence and the tag. Just trying to apply it on the stolen base there. Popped out of the glove. The Majors will take it here as they now have a runner in scoring position here. 1 gone in the inning.
So after the swing and miss and the stolen base, the count is 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Majors have a runner over at second base in scoring position that they will try to cash in. No, it looked like it might have been a hit and run on that play because Wilkie swung at a pitch that was well off the plate and Lawrence was on the move.
Possibly a missed hit and run there, but as you mentioned, Wilkie did everything he could. That pitch well off the plate. Trying to help Lawrence out any way he could with the swing. That moved the count to 1-1.
Souls ready out there on the mound. Wilkie 1 for 3 in the ball game today. Takes a peek back at Lawrence. Here's the pitch, breaking ball hit over to third base. Colley's got it. He'll throw to one. Lawrence on the move to third. Here's the throw, and he's in there with a dive. So Drew Lawrence waits back for the throw and is able to get to third base with 2 out now in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Nice play to pick that one up over at third base, but Lawrence right on top of it. Scrambled back to second, but didn't get all the way back to 2. Spun around, and as soon as the throw made its way across the diamond, took off for third base, sliding in easily. And now 90 feet away from putting the Majors up 2 runs here. It'll take a base hit by Jacob Newton, who already is 2 for 3 in the contest.
Newton having the best ball game out of any Major up to this point. 2 for 3 on the evening. He's got Lawrence over at third base. Here's the pitch. Newton drives that one to right field. It's hit well. Hit back. Warning track. Wall. Goodbye, baseball. Jacob Newton hits one over the right field fence. And not only does he play Drew Lawrence, he adds on to the Majors lead. It's 4-1.
An absolute rocket out to right field off the bat of Jacob Newton, who is having himself a day at the plate. And it is now a 4-1 Majors lead.
Jacob Newton with another home run. He's been swinging a hot bat of late, and the Majors lead by 3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning as Cleveland Brownlee will step up to the dish.
So we get ready for Cleveland Brownlee here with 2 gone after the home run off the bat of Newton.
Into the windup goes Souls. Here's the pitch. Brownlee. I think it was a called strike from Steve Cochran.
Looked low to Brownlee, but he got the call there.
Here's the 0-1. In the air. Wilson coming in from center field. He's got that baseball to retire the side, but the Majors in that bottom of the 7th inning score 2 big runs on the 2-run home run from Jacob Newton that you see on your screen here.
Are the winners of the Tommy Gunn gift cards. In the past, Dino Stroll, Wall, and Nancy.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors. We are back here, MajorsTV at Labatt Memorial Park, as we go to the top half of the 8th inning. And the Majors, Dylan, after all, will go to the bullpen as Braden Farrington comes into the game.
Braden Farrington was warming up in that bottom of the 7th inning, Noah, and it is quite possible that the 3-run lead the Majors got in that frame thanks to the 2-run home run for Jacob Newton, allowed Roop Chanderdat to bring Braden Farrington into this game, allowed his starter to leave with a bit of a bigger lead and turn things over to the bullpen. Farrington this season has been stellar for the Majors after a great year last year. He's 1-0 with an .094 earned run average in 11 games this season. This will be his 12th appearance of the year, which will equal his total from last year. He's got 1 save, entering in a save opportunity. We'll see if he's able to cash.
He's got a 4-1 lead to work with after the home run in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And now Farrington set to work against Jansen here for the Baycats. It's going to be a breaking ball to start the at-bat, and Farrington gets ahead 0-1.
Braden Farrington last season had 4 saves, became the closer pretty much for the Majors, became the guy that Roop Chanderdat relied upon in all the big spots when he needed somebody to come in. Him and Jose Arias are actually tied for the team lead in saves this year with 1.
Swing and a miss. And Farrington gets ahead 0-2. Dylan, we talk about almost, I feel, every time Farrington comes into a ball game, part of the reason why he is so effective is he comes in after fireballers like Arias, whose fastballs are getting in there in the high 80s, low 90s at times, and Farrington will be the first to admit his fastball is not there.
His fastball is not quite at that level that we see from Arias and Boone, but the off-speed is fantastic, and he does such a great job of mixing his pitches.
Breaking ball low in the zone doesn't get him to chase, and now the count moves to 1-2. Farrington last through on Sunday in Toronto. Inning and a third out of the pen for the Majors. Been one of their go-to guys out of the pen, and now he's got a 1-2 count. Delivery low in the dirt, blocked by Mullen again. 2-2.
Jansen doing a good job of laying off some tough pitches right here from Braden Farrington. Breaking balls that are missing low, and oftentimes guys will chase those ones, but no dice so far as he's been doing a great job of taking them.
Trying to get on the same page here as Robert Mullen. Looking for the 2-2. Farrington to the plate and just missing. Pretty good spot there as he froze Jansen at the plate but didn't get the call. Now the count is full.
Looked from up here, Noah, like it was a little bit low to Owen Jansen. The crowd certainly thought otherwise. A few people getting on Steve Cochran, the home plate umpire, for that call. But it is ball 3.
To the plate, fouled off. Jansen got a piece of that one towards the Baycats dugout, and the count stays full at 3-2.
Owen Jansen has done a great job battling in this at-bat. After falling behind 0-2, has worked it full and then fouled off a pitch on the full count offering. I mean, this is not the first time he's done this in the ball game either. He's been fantastic, and when he gets into a hole of just working his way back out of it.
Farrington. Big full count pitch coming here to Jansen to start the inning. Here's the leg kick. Delivery ripped to right field on a line. That one's going to drop in front of Starling Joseph. And Jansen is aboard. His second hit of the ball game will lead off the 8th inning for Barrie.
Starling Joseph got a good read on that baseball and thought for a moment that he might have had a shot at making a play perhaps on the dive and thought better of it, realized he wasn't going to be able to make that grab, so he pulled up a little bit, let it drop in front of him, and holds Jansen to a single. A great job by Owen Jansen. I mentioned how he worked his way back in the count after falling behind 0-2. That culminated in a base hit, so he kind of won that at-bat right there. That's got to feel pretty good for him. In the number 9 spot, your job is to put together good at-bats and turn things over to the top of the order, and that's exactly what he did right there.
First pitch by Farrington will miss outside here as Noel McGarry-Doyle is to the plate, and we're back to the top of the Baycats order. McGarry-Doyle struck out his first time around, 2 for 3 in the ball game. The look at the lead, Jansen at 1. That one's in the dirt. And Farrington falls behind 2-0.
Farrington's been missing low a little bit so far in this outing. Tried to put away Owen Jansen with 2 breaking balls that were in the dirt that he laid off of, and now has missed with 2 in the dirt to Noel McGarry-Doyle, trying to be a little cautious right now, pitching around him a little bit, but he's got to mix his pitches well enough to at least get some chases if he's going to throw them in the dirt.
And that one is swung on and missed. Good pitch there, gets the chase from McGarry-Doyle, and it's 2-1.
Big hack there by Noel McGarry-Doyle on that pitch right there. A good job by Braden Farrington, getting at least 1 strike back in this count.
Checks on the runner briefly. 2-1 to the plate, swung on and missed. McGarry-Doyle right out in front of it, and now it's 2-2.
Farrington took something off of that pitch and got a big swing from Noel McGarry-Doyle that results in a 2-2 count. So after Farrington fell behind, he gets it back to 2-2, and that was kind of the story of the night for Jose Arias. At times he would fall behind guys. He did such a great job of working his way back in the count, and time called. But McGarry-Doyle going to be checked on by the trainer right here.
Did he pull something on that swing?
It's possible. I don't know what else it could have been.
He was well out in front on the swing on the pitch by Farrington. And now chatting things over with the training staff, as you mentioned there, Dylan, for the Baycats.
Yeah, Josh Matlow in there as well, the Barrie Baycats manager, GM, president. Talking things over with his outfielder. Kind of pointing to the elbow right now. I'm not sure if that's...
Yeah, they're still looking things over on the swing as McGarry-Doyle talks it over with the Baycats training staff and manager as well.
Something.
He's got to have pulled something, Dylan. And it looks like they are going to head back to the dugout here after the swing and miss, Dylan. We'll try to see if we can get another look here on the MajorsTV replay. Here's the swing, and you can see him. Looks like coming out of the swing, Dylan, he was super uncomfortable.
Yeah, he kind of walked it off, took a longer walk around the plate right there, and slowly winced and walked his way back into the batter's box before he called time. The Barrie Baycats third base coach wanted time called, and they went out to check on him, but he feels he's feeling all right, and he can face this next pitch from Farrington.
It's a big 2-2 pitch to the plate, ripped over into right field for a base hit. Jansen is going to hold that too as Joseph comes up quickly with the throw, and the Baycats have back-to-back runners on here to begin the 8th inning.
Once again, Noel McGarry-Doyle well ahead of that pitch, but this time he's able to send it on a rope into right, and Starling Joseph did a good job cutting that baseball off. So Jansen stands over at second base. He's now in scoring position. McGarry-Doyle's over at first. It's the top of the order. There's nobody out. It's a good spot to be if you're the Barrie Baycats.
So Farrington has got himself into a little bit of a jam here in the 8th inning. And that will get some, at least movement down in the Majors bullpen as they think about who might be the guy to come in after Braden Farrington. Of course, if everything went perfect, Dylan, I'm sure they were hoping for Farrington to throw the last 2 innings of the ball game, but hardly ever did things go according to plan. As now a ball from the Majors bullpen has made its way out into left field, so that'll be chased down as we await the first pitch here to Odd.
No, I believe in the Majors bullpen right now, that's Anderson Acevedo, if I'm not mistaken.
Farrington looking to try and induce a ground ball here. Corners playing in to protect against the bunt. First pitch, fastball, just inside. Doesn't get the call. 1-0.
Get a look at the bullpen right there. I believe that's Acevedo warming up. No, new to the Majors. We haven't had a chance to see him at Labatt Park yet.
Might have to come into this game if Farrington can't find a way to get some outs here for the Majors, now falling behind 2-0.
Great hitters count right now for Adam Odd of the Barrie Baycats. And pardon me, Anderson Ace Vito out there in the bullpen.
2-0 delivery. Outside edge called a strike. Odd can't believe it, as he looks up to the sky after that 2-0 was called a strike.
That's not the first time that Adam Odd has been disappointed with a call from the home plate umpire so far.
Farrington to the plate. That one ripped out to center field. On the run to the track and caught by Wilkie out in center field. Advancing to third is Jansen, but a big out number one in deep center field.
Yeah, I know I heard some fans around us say that might be gone, and it was not, as Austin Wilkie was able to track that baseball down and left center on the run, made a great play. Showed off his range there getting to that baseball. Adam Odd gave that ball a ride, but Austin Wilkie was able to make the grab for a big first out. Now, Owen Jansen did move up to third base on that play.
Majors still a ground ball away from getting out of it here. Gary Doyle at first base still and can run. We'll see if they try to put him in motion to avoid a double play ball. First pitch off the plate to Rio, and it's 1-0.
Might not be a bad idea with Ryan Rio at the plate, but because Rio's bat's so good, you don't necessarily want to run into outs. I mean, he does represent the tying run, and if there's a guy in this Baycats order that's got home run pop, Ryan Rio's that guy.
Fouled straight back to the screen by Rio. Count moves to 1-1.
Rio wanted every stitch of that baseball. He wanted to send it out to Riverside Drive to tie this ball game up, and just did foul it off. Got enough of it to not come up empty on the swing and sent it straight back to the screen.
1-1 on Rio here as Farrington works in the 8th inning. Runner will go. Mullen, throw down to 2. Not in time to get him, and a run comes in to score. Mullen elected to throw down to try and get McGarry Doyle. The throw is a little bit late and off to the third base side of the bag. Call it a stolen base and a run coming in to score as Jansen takes advantage on the count that moves to 2-1.
Not a bad idea right there for the Barrie Baycats, putting McGarry Doyle in motion, so he swipes second. Jansen comes in to score, and all of a sudden it's a 2-run ball game.
Now to the plate, missing low to Rio. 3 balls and a strike here on the dangerous bat of Rio for the Baycats. They're pressing here in the 8th.
Double play no longer in order here for the Majors.
Off the plate, and Rio's going to take a walk to put runners at first and second. Still just 1 gone here in the inning.
Yeah, with first base opening up, perhaps the Majors elected to try to work around Rio a little bit, and that'll bring Brent Wales out to the mound to talk things over with his pitcher, Braden Farrington, just because Farrington has not looked like himself in this ball game up to this point. As you get a look at the double steal on your screen there, as soon as that ball got to second base and Keith Candell made a play on it, you saw Jansen break from third. He waited and ensured that that ball got to second base. There was no trick play. It didn't get cut off, and then did a great job of scoring. Candell thought they had a shot at second and tried to get that out, but didn't get the call from the second base umpire.
A lot of times, Dylan, you'll see there that if you're going to elect to throw down to second base on that play, you got to be going for the out, because a lot of times you're not going to have time if you don't perform the cut play to get back to home in time. And the Majors, unfortunately, on that play, come up with nothing to show for it. And now Mike DeWin will come into pinch hit here for the Baycats with 1 gone.
Still James Anderson out there at the plate.
A pinch runner.
Pinch runner, yes. DeWin is going to pinch run for Ryan Rio over at first.
Apologies, I heard that over the loudspeaker. I was trying to figure out where he was. Rio will get lifted for a pinch runner, pardon me. With 1 gone in the inning. Farrington ready, ripped on the ground, but foul, third base side.
That one was smoked down the third base line by James Anderson, but just foul, luckily for the Majors, because that could have been trouble if it got into the corner.
Trouble indeed, but Farrington nonetheless will take it for a strike, 0-1. Checks back at the runner at second, to the plate. Just missing on the outside corner, maybe a hair low as well, 1-1.
Farrington has thrown 23 pitches through a third of an inning right now, has 2 runners on base, and would have loved that call, I'm sure, to put him ahead 0-2 on James Anderson, but just did miss, according to home plate umpire Steve Cochran.
Checks back, breaking ball on the ground. Shortstop Candell to 2, back to 1, and it's going to be wide of the first baseman Reichstein. A run will come in to score, and the Baycats have trimmed the deficit to 1.
So a fielder's choice right there from James Anderson. And then the error will allow McGarry Doyle to score, and not ideal for the Majors. They nearly got out of this inning right there on that last play, but instead they've got 2 outs, a runner at first, and they're only up by 1 run. So every time the Majors have increased their lead, the Barrie Baycats have shrunk it back down to 1 run in the following inning.
And the first pitch will miss low here to Wilson. Still not out of this 8th inning for the Majors here with Anderson at first base after the fielder's choice.
Jake Wilson is 0 for 2 in the ball. 0 for 1. Had a sacrifice bunt, walked, and grounded out.
Curveball swung on and missed. Good cut at that one, but Wilson now in a 1-1 count.
Good pitch there from Farrington. Had Wilson well ahead of that pitch and came up empty on the swing. So after falling behind 1-0, works it back to 1-1.
Farrington checks. Now delivery. 1-1, outside corner, called a strike, and it's 1-2. Farrington looking at trying to get the Majors back out onto the bats. 2 runs already across for Barrie here in the inning. Baycats looking to keep the inning going, and a swing and a miss on the curveball. So a strikeout for Farrington gets the Majors out of a jam in the 8th, but the Baycats pick up 2 runs here to bring it back within 1 as we head to the bottom half of inning number 8.
Noah, you mentioned as soon as Frank Garces left the ball game and Jose Arias looked like his outing was over as well, you said maybe it's time that we see more offense. Maybe now that these starting pitchers are out of the ball game, both sides can do some damage to the bullpens. That's exactly what we've seen so far. Both teams scoring 2 runs after the starters came out of the ball game. The Majors scored 2 on a 2-run home run from Jacob Newton against Evan Souls, and those 2 runs proved to be huge as they're the reason that the Majors lead by 1 right now instead of a tied ball game or even trail by 1. And the Barrie Baycats come back and get 2 runs against Braden Farrington, albeit only one of those was earned. Another one came in on the error. But Barrie has produced some offense, and we've got ourselves a tight one as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
4-3 as the Majors will look to add on some runs here in the bottom half of inning number 8. A 4-3 Majors lead here.
I don't know what it is, but I know it's over $1. I can guarantee that.
Going to be a big at-bat as they look to try and see if they have an answer for what the Baycats put up in the top half of the 8th inning.
50-50 number is everybody have it in their hand.
After Barrie scored a run of their own in the top of the 7th, the Majors scored 2. We'll see if they can do that or at least add on one run right here in this bottom of the 8th inning. They've got Robert Mullen, Starling Joseph, and Byron Reichstein up to do it. So a great spot in this Majors order, looking to do some damage.
We'll do one final checkup of the out-of-town scoreboard here. In Hamilton, the Toronto Maple Leafs a 7-4 lead over the Cardinals. Bottom half of inning number 8 at Burnie Arbor. And then just down the road in Brantford, it is a 6-1 lead for the Guelph Royals in the top half of the 7th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th here in London. 4-3, the Majors holding on to a lead here. trying to see if they can find some insurance runs.
Yeah, they'll have to face a new arm out there on the mound. That is Brandon Hillier, the native of Orangeville, Ontario, and long-time arm in the Intercounty Baseball League. Spent some time with Burlington back when they were the Bandits and then when they became the Herd. Switched over to the Barrie Baycats in 2019 after a 2017 season with Burlington where he only pitched in one game. Last year for the Barrie Baycats, he threw in 6 outings, went 0-2 in 8 1/3 innings, 7 strikeouts, 5 walks. This year, he's pitched in 12 games already this season. This is his 13th, 14 1/3 innings, 19 strikeouts, 6 walks. He's 1-0 with a 3.76 ERA.
And Hillier will come in to pitch the bottom of the 8th inning against, as you mentioned, Dylan, the middle of the Majors order. Robert Mullen, Starling Joseph, the first 2 to greet him. Here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors in the ball game for London. 3 runs, 6 hits, just a single error for the Baycats. Here in the late going at Labatt Memorial Park, we thank you for tuning in, watching along with us here on the London Majors YouTube page and Majors TV. Noah Smith and Dylan Baker are calling the action for you from the Game Day London broadcast booth. Our whole Majors TV crew putting together the action for you on this Friday night. And we've been treated to a good back and forth contest in London.
That's exactly what we were expecting, Noah. 2 teams near the top of the Intercounty Baseball League standings. We talked about how close the top 5 are this season. Another example of that right here.
First pitch from Hillier upstairs to Robert Mullen. And it's 1-0. Out of the plate, missing low and inside to Mullen. So falling behind 2 balls and no strikes. Mullen is 0 for 3 in this evening's contest. Rips one into right field for a base hit. So Robert Mullen is aboard with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Hard single there off the bat of Robert Mullen, ripped into right field, just past the dive of Owen Jansen. Great effort by Jansen trying to come up with that baseball, was unable to do so, and now Mullen stands over at first base to lead off the bottom of the 8th.
Dylan, it wasn't a long, cold streak for Robert Mullen in terms of at-bats, but I'm sure it's felt like that for him. He was 0 for 4 on Sunday in Toronto, 0 for 3 to start this ball game, which I'd have to go back and check the stats, but might be one of the longest streaks of the season he's gone without finding a base hit.
Yeah, probably, Noah, to be completely honest with you. I think there was one game where he might have gone 0 for 4 this year, but other than that, I mean, he's done so well at the plate.
First pitch called a strike on Starling Joseph. He falls behind 0-1 to Hillier after the leadoff single to Robert Mullen. Hillier to the plate. That one picked out of the dirt on the fastball. Good block by Anderson, and it's 1-1. Hillier will take his time on the mound to gather himself after that pitch missed low in the zone. Mullen not a big lead at first base. Pitch to the plate, upstairs to Joseph, 2-1.
Good take there by Starling Joseph on the pitch that missed just high above the belt. Tough take there on 1-1, but he was able to lay off. Looked like the first pitch might have been a ball as well, but Hillier got the call.
Called the strike on Joseph, 2-2 here. Starling 1 for 3. Had that extra base hit down the left field line earlier on. Now looking to continue the Majors start here in the bottom of the 8th. Hillier ready to the plate. Inside to Joseph. 3-2 now.
Hillier came close with that last pitch, but just did miss, according to home plate umpire Steve Cochran. So the count moves to full with nobody out, and Robert Mullen standing over at first base. You doubt the runner would be put in motion here.
Doesn't have a big lead. He's likely going to stay where he is. Pitch to the plate on the ground. Going to be a tough play. Burns at short. The throw high. Not in time to get Starling Joseph. And the Majors have back-to-back runners to reach here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That was going to be a very tough play for Carson Burns, who was shaded up the middle in double play depth looking to turn 2, and he was going to have no shot at Robert Mullen at second base. His best bet was Starling Joseph over at first. Made it a close play, fired a very strong throw, but the throw was almost too strong. It took Odd off the bag as he had to leap up to make the catch and could not put a tag on Joseph, so 2 on for Byron Reichstein. Chance of the Majors to add on here.
Reichstein 0 for 3. Will be a good time to try and find his way into the hit column in the ball game. That first pitch misses low, 1-0. Byron still trying to get into a groove since rejoining the Majors here in this season. Fouls one off into the screen, out of play. Seven long balls, 29 runs batted in a year ago for the Majors. Here's the 1-1. Big rip by Reichstein, and it's 1-2.
Big hack there by the Majors slugger. You mentioned Noah still trying to find a groove here as he returns to the Majors. Only his 6th game played of the season. He's got a great opportunity right here to drive home a couple runs if he can get a ball deep enough into the gap, or just one if he gets a ball into the outfield.
Hiller's got him in a 1-2 count. Pitch to the plate, reached and fouled off by Reichstein, out of play. Good job to spoil on that 1-2 pitch. Fouled it off the other way. Baycats put up 2 runs in the top half of this inning. Majors have the first 2 men on in the bottom half. Looking to keep that going with Reichstein at the plate in a 1-2 count. Delivery, Reichstein on the ground, second base. Throw to 2, in time, back to 1, and got him. Bang, bang play at first base. Reichstein called out. And the Baycats turn a huge double play here in the bottom half.
Very close play over at first base. Looks like Carson Burns has shifted over to second base. Owen Jansen moving over to shortstop in the ballgame. But a very good play by Burns over at second. Quick shovel over to Jansen at shortstop, who did a great job of turning that and getting it back to first. A fantastic play by the Barrie Baycats to get themselves 2 quick outs in this bottom of the 8th inning. And now there is a runner over at third base, but there are 2 away as you get a look at the replay. Tight play over at first. I don't know, no, it was close.
That was pretty close over at first base, but Reichstein not getting the call for the Majors. And now the first pitch inside to Kreminski here, 1-0. Mullen still standing 90 feet away. The Majors need a big hit here by their third baseman to try and add some insurance runs on here in the 8th inning. The 1-0 delivery on the ground, second base. Picked up, Burns to 1 in time. And the Baycats use a big double play ball to get themselves out of the bottom of the 8th inning, still trailing by just the single run. It's a 4-3 London Majors lead as we head to the 9th. Here at Labatt Park, you're watching Intercounty Baseball League action on MajorsTV.
capturing emotion in every shot.
We are inside Labatt Memorial Park on Majors TV, live here for you on YouTube. Dylan, we go to the top of the ninth inning. Majors 4, Baycats 3. And if we told you in the pregame show, hint, hint, we did, that it was going to be an exciting game, you've been treated to a good one here, a one-run ball game as we go to the ninth.
We told you it was going to be exciting, we told you it was going to be close, and we told you it was going to be low scoring. How many times this season, Noah, have we seen a 4-3 game between the Majors and their opponent? The Majors offense is so potent that oftentimes it'll either be a blowout or it'll be a 10-9 score. This one's 4-3. Arias was great, Garces was great, and now it's up to the bullpens and up to Braden Farrington entering his second inning of work to try and close this out.
Farrington will come back out here for the ninth for the Majors, Dylan, and unsure after giving up 2 in the eighth if we would see him here in the ninth. I think manager Rup Chanadak going to try to give him a clean slate here in the ninth and see if he can settle down, but I would imagine that the leash might be fairly short here on the Majors reliever.
Yeah, 28 pitches in that eighth inning of work. 15 of them were strikes, so just over 50% in the strike percentage column. Allowed 2 runs. One of them was earned. Might have been out of that inning had it not been for the error on the throw from Jacob Newton at second base. And we'll see what Farrington's able to do here in the ninth. He's got to deal with the bottom of the order, so it's a good spot to be if you're Braden Farrington. That'll be Brad McQuinn, who took over for Juan Familia to lead things off, and then Carson Burns, followed by Brendan Cawley. So it's 6, 7, 8, and we'll see if Farrington can close the door.
Looking to try and shut down the Baycats here in the ninth inning. Farrington will grab his sign. The first pitch delivery, it's going to be bunted, and Mullen picked that one up in foul territory.
Thankfully, he picked that one up in foul territory.
He threw that one away, but it was a foul ball. Mullen, I think, more than anything on that one, Dylan, was just trying to cover himself in case there was a chance that that one might have been called fair, but it didn't look like it was close here.
No, it looked like it was well into the batter's box and just threw it over to first base. Had the momentum already, wanted to be safe just in case.
Foul ball moves the count 0-1 in favor of Braden Farrington. Curveball inside and low, doesn't get McQuinn to bite, and it's 1-1. Farrington again. Here's the 1-1 delivery, swing and a miss. Healthy cut at that one by McQuinn, and it's 1-2.
Good pitch there from Braden Farrington. McQuinn took a big swing at that one, but came up empty, so the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Chance to put him away right here.
McQuinn this season, just a 167 average and limited at bats. Here's the 1-2, fouled off at the plate.
Farrington came up high with that pitch, and McQuinn did a good job of fighting it off to stay alive. Good offering there on 1-2. We'll see what he comes with now after the foul ball. Maybe tries to bury a breaking ball and get him to chase it.
Has options to work with here, up 1-2 in the count. On the same page as Mullen here. Here's the delivery off the plate with the curveball, 2-2.
So did, in fact, come back with the curveball, but missed the strike zone and couldn't bury it low enough to get a swing and a miss. So the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Two. Foul ball, giving it a look is Kraminski, but that one's going to be well out of play. Good battle at the plate here by McQuinn as he keeps on staying alive to see another pitch.
Yeah, McQuinn doing a great job right now at the plate of fighting off some tough pitches, laying off some tough pitches, and ensuring that he continues to get a chance to see pitches from Braden Farrington right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Farrington and Mullen going to have to figure out what the pattern is that McQuinn has clicked on and look to change it up.
Here is the 2-2 from Farrington. Chopped and fouled again.
Looked like a bit of an emergency hack there from McQuinn at the plate. Wasn't intending to swing at that baseball, but then all of a sudden it started coming at him. He thought, oh, maybe that's going to be a strike, and threw his bat at it just to stay alive.
McQuinn just 12 at-bats this year for the Baycats, but trying to find his way on for Barrie in the top half of the ninth inning. Here's the pitch, fouled off again. And he just keeps on battling here against Braden Farrington.
Farrington now up to 36 pitches in this outing. It's been an 8-pitch at-bat so far for McQuinn. Every time Farrington's had a good pitch trying to put him away, it's been fouled off or taken. So McQuinn's doing a great job of fighting right now at the dish.
Fans trying to clap along and cheer on Farrington here. 2-2, swing and a miss. Came back to the breaking ball on the inside corner, got the win to chase, and there's one gone.
Great job there by Braden Farrington, getting McQuinn to swing and miss at that pitch. Swung right over top of it as it dove inside on him. And he gets a big first out in the top of the ninth inning. A great battle put up at the plate by McQuinn, and Farrington comes out as the victor.
Just the way he needed to start the ninth for Braden Farrington. A strikeout, and he's got the first out. Now this one chopped and foul. Mullen quickly to pick that one up, but a foul ball, and once again, Farrington works ahead in the count, 0-1.
Now Robert Mullen just being safe once again. Thought about maybe throwing it over to first base just in case it was ruled a fair ball. That one foul, and Farrington's ahead in the count.
Burns awaits the 0-1 pitch here from Braden Farrington. Here's the pitch. Call a strike on the outer edge. That one broke enough to get back inside the strike zone, and it's 0-2.
Great pitch there from Braden Farrington. Gets the breaking ball that drops in on the outside corner, well ahead of Carson Burns at the moment.
Fans once again cheering on Farrington here. 0-2 popped up. Shallow right coming on, and no one's going to have a play. And the Majors will allow a base runner to reach here after a miscommunication in shallow right.
That was going to be a tough play for Jacob Newton no matter what, as he ranged into shallow right field. He was running with his back turned, was going to have to make a very difficult play in shallow right, and Starling Joseph was also coming in hard, looking to make the grab. We'll get a look at the replay right here. You see Newton kind of run away at the very last second. Looked like he might have been camped under it. It's possible that Starling Joseph called him off, and that's why Newton kind of ducked out of the way.
And now a ball that's going to get to the backstop. Moving up to second base is Burns. 1-0 here for Farrington, and the Baycats have moved the tying run into scoring position here. 1 out in the inning.
Less than ideal right now for Braden Farrington. You've got the tying run over at second base after the wild pitch. And all of a sudden, that little bloop has caused some problems for the Majors.
The wild pitch allows the runner to advance. Burns at second. Here's the pitch by Farrington. No chase by Cawley, and it's 2-0.
So Cawley now in a pretty good hitter's count. No action in that Majors bullpen. A few guys standing. And now Kieran Bowles is going to go out and tell somebody to get loose.
2-0. Farrington checks back, comes to the plate, misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes.
Looks to me like Daniel Gore has gotten up to start throwing in the Majors bullpen.
Trying to get him up and ready in a hurry, Dylan. After Farrington falls behind 3-0. Fires one across for a strike, 3-1.
Good pitch by Farrington, needing to come in the strike zone right there. Cawley clearly had the red light, didn't swing at that pitch, although it was right down the middle, and Farrington slowly working his way back in the count. It's 3-1.
Just got to try and throw strikes here. As he does again, that one swung on and missed.
Good breaking ball right there from Braden Farrington, and Colley comes up empty on that swing. Farrington's done a good job of mixing things, and after falling behind 3-0, he's worked it back to a full count.
2 good pitches to work it back, and now he's got to try and find a third here. Big 3-2 pitch. Farrington checks back at Burns. Leg kick and a late time call by Colley.
Crowd not happy with that one. A very late time call there, and oftentimes you'll see umpires grant that more often when there's nobody on base and the pitcher's working out of the windup, which gives him more time to kind of slow his motion. But right there, Farrington working from the stretch had to throw that pitch because he couldn't stop himself after time was called.
Farrington was already with his left leg up into the delivery when time was called. Now he's got to do it again on 3-2 to the plate, and fouled out of play by Colley.
Farrington executed nearly the same pitch after time was called on the outside corner right there, and Colley this time able to fight it off and get a piece, stay alive.
Baycats now here in the top of the 9th inning. 1 gone. Tying run, second base. 3-2. Farrington inside to Colley, and the walk will put a runner at first.
Farrington, I'm sure, would have liked to get that call in the inside corner, but did not receive it from home plate umpire Steve Cochran. He's frustrated out there on the mound. Robert Mullen going to go out, talk to him, flip him the baseball, tell him to relax, zone in. You got a double play in order right now and a chance to get out of this thing with 1 good pitch.
Still a double play ball away from getting out of the inning. Jansen's 2 for 3 for the Baycats. Doing a great job for Barrie at the bottom of the order in the game, and now Roop Chanardette will come out and talk to Braden Farrington.
We'll see what the plan is for Roop. Looks like he's going to talk to Farrington, and now he's going to take the baseball.
So it'll be the end of the line for Braden Farrington. Tying run is at second base for the Baycats here in the 9th, and they're going to turn things over to the bullpen as Daniel Gore will come in after this.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
Top of the 9th inning here in London. Majors holding on a 4-3 lead over the Baycats. Braden Farrington allowed a couple of runners to reach here in the 9th inning. Recorded just 1 out, and now Daniel Gore will come into the ballgame.
Yeah, Daniel Gore coming into the ball game right here for the Majors, looking to close this one out. 1 good pitch gets him out of it this season. 5 games, 2 of them have been starts. He's 2-2 with a .571 earned run average.
First pitch, ripped to right field. On a line, Joseph makes the catch. Retreating back to second base, and Burns will advance up to third. But Joseph makes the catch for a big second out.
Boy, oh boy, nervous moments on that last pitch there for Majors fans and players alike as that ball was scorched to right field. But Starling Joseph playing deep, played it perfectly. made the grab, and now the tying run stands at third with 2 out in the inning.
And it'll be Noel McGarry-Doyle at the top of the order for the Baycats. They have 7 hits in the contest. McGarry-Doyle's got 3 of them. And now he'll look for the biggest one of the night for Barrie.
McGarry-Doyle so far in the ball game, you mentioned he's 3 for 4. He's got 2 singles and a triple.
Gore grabs his sign for Mullen. Here's the delivery. It's going to miss low. Out now, a ball and no strikes here on McGarry-Doyle. Baycats have had an answer for the Majors all game long. They've stayed within a run for the most part. And now looking to tie the game in the 9th. It's Daniel Gore trying to shut the door for the Majors. Here's the pitch inside. Mullen has to pick that out of the dirt, 2-0.
That one misses low as well. Gore has missed low twice now in this at-bat to McGarry-Doyle. Trying to pitch cautiously, but you only need 1 out to get out of it. The danger is there's a runner over at third base.
Gore takes his time on the mound as he comes set. Here's the delivery inside. 3-0 to McGarry-Doyle.
Gore can't find the strike zone at the moment, falling behind 3-0. Good hitters count. Robert Mullen walking out towards the mound, trying to get his pitcher to relax, settle in, and focus up.
Dylan, if you read into the stats here in this at-bat, staying away from McGarry-Doyle isn't the worst decision. Odd on deck is 0 for 4 in the ballgame. Pitch inside to McGarry-Doyle. He'll walk on 4 pitches to load the bases.
Let's see if that was maybe the game plan for the Majors, just to be very careful with McGarry-Doyle. Try to pitch around him. Adam Odd steps up to the plate, as you mentioned, 0 for 4 today. The one thing is, Adam Odd in his last trip to the plate smoked a ball to the left center field gap that Austin Wilkie had to go a long way to track down, and now bases are juiced, 2 out in the top of the 9th.
Majors looking for 1 final out here in the 9th inning. And with 2 gone, bases loaded, and the Baycats down by 1, it'll come down to this at-bat. Big cut by Odd through the fastball, and it's 0-1.
Big pitch there from Daniel Gore. Gets the swing and miss from the Barrie first baseman. Looking to get 2 more of those.
Gore grabs his sign. Delivery from the righty on the ground. Second base. Shoveled to 2. And in time to get him. The Majors escape by the skin of their teeth with a 4-3 win over the Baycats.
Fantastic play over at second base by Jacob Newton to end this ball game. Ensured he kept it in front of him and knew he had to be quick. He shoveled that over to second base as fast as he could to get the final out of this ball game. Boy, oh boy, no, the Majors made it interesting, but in the end, they come away with the victory.
The Baycats get back within a run here in London, but will leave with a 4-3 loss to the London Majors. The Majors picking up a big win here on home turf to kick off the weekend, 4-3 over the Baycats.
That's huge, Noah, after last weekend where they won 3-3. And the weekend before, they lost all 3 games that they played. So the Majors got back into the win column last weekend, won all 3 ball games against some tough teams, and are going to look to ride that momentum throughout this ball game and hopefully the rest of the season. They beat the Barrie Baycats today. They've got Brantford and Hamilton on Saturday and Sunday. Those would be 2 huge wins to pick up. If they can win 6 in a row, I mean, that certainly helps them right around the top of the standings.
We knew coming into this game that it was going to be an exciting one. I don't know if either of us were expecting the finish that we got here, but the Majors hold on for a 4-3 win over the Baycats. 9 hits for the Majors, 7 for the visiting Baycats in this contest. That does it for us here on our coverage of Majors TV tonight. We thank you for watching with us up here at the Game Day London broadcast booth and on YouTube. It's been a pleasure bringing this game to you. The Majors back in action tomorrow, as mentioned, as they hit the road, and then Sunday as well to finish off the weekend. That does it for us here in London. A 4-3 win for the London Majors on Majors TV.